Over the last couple of 5, 6, 7 games, he hasn't done a whole lot in terms of the running game. But early on in the season, he ran the ball extremely well. He's a lot quicker than a lot of people give him credit for. He'll find the openings. He'll take off and run. The one thing you got to keep in mind, Aquinas is a pro-style offense. He's going to sit back. He's going to stay in the pocket as long as he can. When it breaks down, he does have a good feel of the pocket breaking down. And when he does, he'll take off and run with the football.
Also, Fred Coppett, a running back, has rushed for 1,154 yards on the year, 14 touchdowns. And on defense, Joe Boza, 6'5", 265, defensive lineman who's committed to Urban Meyer and the Ohio State Buckeyes. And also Al Harris, a defensive back, very, very talented, has good bloodlines.
Yeah, he does. He comes from the University of Miami. Great bloodlines right there. And his dad, Ned Harris, I mean, you can't ask for anybody any better than that to be filling in. Fred Coppett on the offensive side of the football has the breakaway speed. If he finds a secondary, the second level of that defense, he can flat out run you. And as far as Bosa goes, Bosa's a great up-the-field rusher. We'll question whether or not how good he is moving across the field, in a lateral movement. Again, they will move him around. He won't just stick at the defensive end. They'll move him in different spots on the defensive line.
All right, let's take a timeout. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC. All right, come back. I'm going to read this. My spots. Oh, yeah. Yeah, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Who was saying what? I figured out
yeah. Great. That was a great job. That was a great job. Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah.
32 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, man, this is going to be a good one, I think. You know?
You would think. Like he liked it before. St. Thomas State have a good shot at it.
Right, and that's what scares me,
They find ways to make them stay.
Right, and then that's very uncharacteristic of this too.
Yeah. The biggest issue this year.
Yeah.
You look at the game they lost to Don Bosco, who's pretty good.
Right.
They dominated that game.
Yeah. Two turnovers inside their own 20 cost them the game.
Yeah.
And then the game against Miramar, they lost. It was a questionable call on the 20 touchdown by Miramar. It was clearly something before they still finished.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. If you don't want to be in those games, you want to be right.
Exactly.
Yeah, should be fun. Hey, thanks again for coming on.
Make this one quick, right? And then bust in what we got to do. All right. Go hit those.
Hitting all these.
Okay.
Then a quick look at the bracket.
Who do you have? You want me to run one of them for you?
I got them.
Okay.
It's just easier. I'll just fly through them.
You know what? Hit those. Let's take the break and go into Joe. Let's not even do anything else, right? Let's do that.
Well, we'll do a quick other semifinal game.
Okay.
And that'll be it. With Danny Carter, this is Dave Bristow. We're at Piccolo Stadium on the campus of St. Thomas Aquinas High School, and you're listening to the Shake Pit Countdown to Kickoff. Want to mention a couple of our other sponsors for tonight's game: Crowder Brothers, Ace Hardware, and Gifts and Gadgets. If you're looking for that unique Christmas gift, head to Gifts and Gadgets on Manatee Avenue West and also out on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard. You can also, of course, while you're there, drop over to the hardware store. They've got it all at Ace Hardware, Crowder Brothers. I ran out of a part when I was fixing the sprinkler the other day, and Ace Hardware, Danny, just about, 2 minutes from the house.
2 minutes from the house,
and they have everything there. You've got to get out there. It's Ace Brothers, Crowder Brothers, Ace Hardware, and also Gifts and Gadgets. Don't forget about Gifts and Gadgets. Also joining us tonight, Danny Moulter and Moulter Pest and Wildlife Control. They're state licensed and insured. And I'll tell you what, if you need anything as far as pest control, the only place you need to call is Moulter. And not only do they have pest control now, they now have wildlife control. Rats, raccoons, squirrels, snakes, bees, they can take care of everything. Give them a call or go online and check them out. Moulter Pest and Wildlife Control. And Danny, before we get too far, we got a couple of new sponsors tonight for the semifinal. We've got First America Bank. And, they proudly support Manatee High School football. And, they're a true community bank with locations all over the county. They've got one right on Manatee Avenue West, 2811. If you're up in Palmetto, they've got one 8th Avenue West in Palmetto. Then if you're out toward Ellenton, they've got one on 301 North. Down in Sarasota, you're covered. So, if you want to do your banking somewhere where it's a true community bank, go to First America Bank. And last but not least, we thank Vernon Desir. He hooked us up with the Manatee Memorial Hospital Foundation. And they were established back in 1992. The foundation is a 5013 nonprofit organization that was formed to support health-related needs of the Manatee County community, and they've just done a great job. The foundation's major emphasis is on health care needs within our community and also scholarships for medical education. And we certainly invite you to learn more about the Manatee Memorial Foundation, and they're tied in with Eddie's camp, and Eddie will talk more about it.
They've done so much for the Foundation for Dreams. Vernon Desir, one of my close friends for years, went to bat for us many times, and they've been a great supporter for the kids of this community, and particularly the Foundation for Dreams and the Dream Oaks camp.
And they wanted to get involved in this game tonight, and we thank them. And I'll tell you what, as far as this game goes, we've got a great game, but Danny up to the north, Kissimmee, Osceola, and Tallahassee, Lincoln. The winner of this game, the winner of that game in Orlando next Friday night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great football game between those two teams. I think the Cowboys of Osceola are ready to play football up there. I know that the city of Orlando is hoping that they get there. It's a great crowd that they can bring into that venue next week. I still think I picked them from the very beginning. I'll stick with Tallahassee Lincoln to win that football game.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we return, you'll hear from Manatee head football coach Joe Canan. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC.
Where do you guys park at? That's where the buses are going to actually be. Back here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eddie's done, then we'll take it to the last break. If I got time to do it, I'm going to do it. If not, it's okay. It is what it is. I'm going to play it by ear where we're sitting on what's going on in the field. I still got to get into Gene. That's the big part. I got to get into him.
The most important thing is we got our 4 spots.
Right.
We'll do those. We'll probably do them again at half.
Okay.
And once in the first half.
Oh, you need me to do them half. I got time to do it. You just hand it to me. Okay.
Extra $500
Picking up this 10 rolling, dude. I was on an eyelash asking somebody yesterday. Oh, we're on live. We got to take that off. Tap him on the shoulder. I can tell him what's going on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Piccolo Stadium for the state semifinal game of the 2012 Florida High School Athletic Association Class 7A Football Championship. The FHSAA reminds you that interscholastic events are an extension of the classroom and that lessons are best learned when proper respect is accorded to all. Please let your good sportsmanship show as you watch tonight's game. This state semifinal contest is between the Manatee Hurricanes and the St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders. The Hurricanes are coached by Joe Kinnan, and the Raiders are coached by Rocco Casulo. Captains for tonight's game for St. Thomas Aquinas. Number 5, John O'Corn. Number 4, Isaac Bruton. Number 40, Scott Northcutt. Number 74, Kyle Schaffenacker. Number 97, Joey Bosa. Number 4 captains, number 28, Fred Coppett. And number 67, Zachary Poe. Captains for Manatee, number 8, Willie Smith, number 24, Cord Sandberg, number 43, Marquise Dawson, and number 76, Thor Miller.
Yeah, we're here.
Yep, we're here.
Mascot.
All right, bud, thank you.
A lot of fun down there. Over on the St. Thomas side, they're a little pumped up. They want to see something different. So I'm looking at the players for dinner. Well, we got the initial process. The toss getting ready to one right now. We're here tonight. This year you have a football coach singing down there.
Welcome back to Fort Lauderdale and St. Thomas Aquinas' Brian Piccolo Stadium, the home of the Raiders and the Manatee Hurricanes, and St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders will square off here in a few minutes. I'm joined by Eddie Mulock. This is Danny Carter. Eddie, let's get your thoughts on tonight's football game.
Well, of course, we got a different coach than we've seen before. Rocco Consuelo. He's 22-5. He's done a good job down here. Here we are again over in this little corner of the world. We've been and I mean literally, we're over here in the corner of the press box again. We got two teams here. One's averaging 50 points a game, and the other 40. I'll take that score, Danny, and I'll see you in Orlando.
I hope to God that's the way it turns out, Eddie, and we'll find out how things roll out. We'll take a final break. When we come back, we'll get the field report from Gene Brown and a couple of other things before we kick off tonight's football game. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football presented by Conley Buick GMC.
Celebration of Christmas, we pray that the poor in our communities and those serving our country may be blessed with the fruits of this holy season. Finally, in all that we do, lead us to the reward of your kingdom, where you live and reign forever and ever. Amen. St. Thomas Aquinas, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Pretty good timing.
We welcome everybody back to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Brian Piccolo Stadium, the home of St. Thomas Aquinas. Manatee Hurricanes and the St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders are getting ready to square off here in a few moments. Hey, the rights to tonight's broadcast of this 2012 FHSAA Class 7A Football Championship has been granted to 930 WLSS by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited. We'll take it down to the field now in tonight's national anthem.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yeah, nice rendition of the national anthem tonight. We'll take it down to the field now with Gene Brown. And Gene, I know the team's coming out on the field right now. Tell me, exactly. I know they're looking excited and ready to go. Are they ready to play tonight's football game?
Yeah, Danny, I think they are. And when you look at the way we warmed up and the way things went, and talking to some of the coaches and things, this team is the same Mo they've done all year. Just the business-like. Let's get it going. Let's come out here and play our game and show them what we're made of. Field condition obviously is field turf. It's in great shape. The weather is holding. We obviously thought there might be some rain, but it's a little bit cool, but it's great football weather, and it's a fast track for the Manatee Hurricanes.
Gene, you were down there tossing the coin. Any indication of who's got what?
Yeah, we won the toss and elected to receive.
All right, so the Hurricanes will go on offense first. Hurricanes down in the, what we'll call, I believe, the way we're faced here tonight. They're in the west end zone tonight, so we're facing to the south here from the press box side of it. So the Canes will come out of the south end zone. They will receive the football to start with. And with that said, and we'll talk more about this Hurricane football team, I'll bring in the voice of the Hurricanes, Dave Bristow.
Thanks a lot, Danny Carter. Boy, an exciting night here tonight, an exciting night back at Bradenton, and we welcome everyone listening on News Talk 930 WLSS, and also this game being streamed on the internet. So we welcome everyone that has tuned in and is watching this game. Everybody at Beef O'Brady's, stand up and cheer. Everybody all around Bradenton. We had over 11,000 hits last week, and we think we're going to have an exciting game for you tonight. Well, Danny, we're going to get the football, and I think that's what Joe Cadan wants. He wants to get his offense out there as soon as possible.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, last week we went offense first. We had a mishandle the first snap. The defense came up and stood up and did what they needed to do to keep everybody out of the end zone, change the tide of the football game. The Hurricanes going offense. We've had great success on opening drives. Let's see if the Hurricanes can do it tonight.
It's our second week in a row taking the ball, and I think that's confidence in our offense, frankly. You know, it also doesn't give them a chance to come out and have a quick score and put us behind the 8 ball. So I like the choice. We got a good offense. We could come right out and march down the field. That's our capabilities.
William Arpin will be kicking off right to left. Back deep, Joe Robinson, Kelvin McKnight, and Taryn Cotton. McKnight is in the middle.
Deep for Manatee.
And we are set to go. State semifinals. Here's the kickoff from right to left. It's a deep kick that's taken at the 5 to the 10. That's Robinson trying to reverse his field, and he goes down before he gets, well, he's about the 10-yard line. So Manatee pinned deep in their own territory. They're going to say his knee went down at the 9.
Just caught him tripped up by the ankle, didn't he, Danny? I'm having a hard time peeking around the corner here.
Yeah, it's a good guess by Aquinas. They kicked left. Manatee had returned to the right, and obviously everything didn't match up exactly the way they wanted. He got tripped up, so the Canes will go on offense here.
Canes will be driving left to right. Cord Sandberg, the senior quarterback, will operate out of the shotgun. He'll send 3 receivers to the right. Trevon Walters is the lone setback, 1 receiver to the left. Sandberg, the senior, takes the snap, and he will fire it out to Hines. Hines to the 10, Hines to the 15, Hines to the 16-yard line. That's a 7-yard gain on first down. Let's set that Manatee offense. Again, Sandberg, the senior quarterback, Walters at running back, Hines, Yancey, Pollock, and McKnight, the receivers from left to right on the line. Thor Miller, Dylan Beechup, Kyle Mock, Mike Galati, and Jake Stickler.
Good pickup on first down, Danny.
2nd down and 3. We're just underway. Canes deep in their own territory, operating from their 16-yard line. Sandberg out of the gun. He will keep it on the left side. He is to the 20. He is to the 21-yard line. That's enough for a Hurricane first down. 5 yards for Cord on just a simple read option.
He could have gotten farther if he ran up on his own man. It slowed him down out there.
Yeah, good read by Cord right there. He gave the ball to the inside. Now, the one thing to keep in mind here, we talked about Bosa in the opening. Bosa opened up in the interior. Now he's back to the exterior.
They will go with 3 down linemen. They run a 3-4. Sandberg out of the gun, takes a snap. He wants to throw, and now he'll go down back at the 18-yard line. That was Joe Boza on the sack. Of course, he's well documented. He's going to Ohio State, 6'5", 265. His dad was a first-round pick of the Miami Dolphins. There is a flag on the play, however, and that's going to go against Aquinas.
Yeah,
it's a big one.
Yeah, he reached out to grab Cord on that. When he grabbed the face mask, is exactly what took Cord down right there. If he doesn't grab the face mask, Cord's got some running room.
So a personal foul face mask on the sack, and that's a huge penalty for the Canes. The ball now out to the 34-yard line.
Keeps momentum going, too, in this first drive, and that's very important.
Larkin is checked into the game as Manatee runs now a power offensive line with Larkin lining up at tight end. Sandberg out of the shotgun. Man in motion. Sandberg will shovel it right ahead out to the 38-yard line. And that is about a 4-yard pickup for Marquell Hines. Just a little shovel pass that gets 4 yards. Keeps that defense honest.
Mixing it up really well, though, too. You know it, David?
Very nice early on as the Hurricanes have the ball out now at the 39-yard line. Driving left to right, 9:55 to go in the first period. We're scoreless. Sandberg sends 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and we've got a timeout called by Coach Joe Cadan, and the Hurricanes will talk it over. We'll take our first timeout of the night. We're scoreless. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC.
And the 2012 FHSAA football.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to come at you.
One shot.
3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines.
Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship. Play strong, play hard, play fair. The message provided by the station and FHSAA.
Canes have it 2nd down and 6. Line of scrimmage, the 39 of Manatee, driving left to right. Sandberg out of the gun. 3 receivers to the left. Sandberg will pitch it out to Hines, and the ball is loose. Hines is able to dive on it. Great play by Marquell. We'll lose maybe 3 yards to bring up a 3rd down and long situation, but thank goodness Hines was able to go jump on that football.
Yeah, St. Thomas did a good job of defending that. He had him open. He just let him a little too much on that pitch right there. If he's not let as much, Marquell Hines has a little bit of running room.
Yeah, Danny, they're saying it's an incomplete pass, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, they're saying it's an incomplete pass.
I'm not sure about that. That's behind the line of scrimmage. I got to call that a lateral.
I mean, we got the ball anyway, but we gain a couple of yards by it being an incomplete pass.
Absolutely. Big break for the Canes.
So it's now 3rd down and 6, and the officials stopping play momentarily here. Maybe they're going to talk about this last call.
I think they are, because it was behind the line of scrimmage, you know it.
No change. They're not going to change it around here.
No, I don't think they can change it now.
25-second clock. Here we go.
Okay, good.
All right, big 3rd down here, 3rd and 6 for the Canes. Sandberg out of the gun, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Sandberg wants to throw, fires it. It's complete for the first down to the 45. And that is Kelvin McKnight to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes.
What a throw, guys. What a beautiful throw on a rope.
A 10-yard pickup as Sandberg hits the sophomore, the first cousin of Ace Sanders, Kelvin McKnight.
Yeah, congratulations, Ace Sanders, on the SEC honor of the
Special teams honor
player. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, he deserved it, that's for sure.
14.5 yards a pickup on punt returns during the year.
Down to 8:40 to go in the first quarter. Canes still in their own territory at their own 48. 1st down and 10. Sandberg will give it to Hines. Hines to the 50. Hines to the 45. Hines to the 41. And he drives to the 40-yard line where he's finally upended an 11-yard pickup. And it's a 1st down for the Hurricanes. Marquell Hines running strong on the jet sweep.
Again, another very good read by Cord. All you're doing is reading the defensive end. If he collapses on it, hey, you give the ball up. He gave the ball up. Great job, Marquell Hines, finding some running room right there.
They're going to say he went down. They're going to stop forward progress at the 41, guys. But Manatee in St. Thomas territory, a 1st down and 10. And Eddie, this offense is off and going.
Cord's really under control right now, guys. He's controlling this ball game right now offensively.
3 receivers to the left. Walters, the lone setback. Cord out of the gun. Cord takes the snap. He'll give it off to Walters. Big hole to the 30. Look at Trevon go to the 20-yard line. Walters picks up 21 yards. 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes. And Manatee is in the Coastal Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Red Zone. Coastal, your premier source for quality orthopedic care.
Danny, that's what we got to get going, is that running game in the middle like that. It's going to really open up everything else.
Just like that, you wonder when Trevon Walters is going to get involved in the offense. There he does right there. Pops a big 21-yard run. Kane setting up 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
He was close from going all the way, guys.
Walters averages over 9 yards a carry. 3 receivers to the left. Sandberg gives it to Walters again, but he only gets back to the line as that was a low snap, and that threw everything off kilter.
Yeah, the timing was terrible because of that.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. They spot it just short of the 20-yard line. 7:20 in the first quarter. It's been a nice long drive by the Hurricanes. Started way back at the 9-yard line. Johnny Lang has checked in the game, the freshman. Where's that 25-second clock, Danny?
They don't have one.
Well, I thought they did last time we were here.
I did too. Well, you think with all the money they got, you'd have one.
Sandberg out of the shotgun, takes the snap. It's going to be a run. Cord will get to about the 18, maybe the 17, we'll call it. That's 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 7. That was a straight quarterback run on the left side. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 now.
Well, you're in a great position right here. At field goal range, you got it set up with Greg Moss to kick a field goal. The question is, do you strike to the end zone right here? What they're doing, they're creeping up to safety pretty close. Don't be surprised if Manatee doesn't try to exploit the middle portion of the field right here.
Kane sent 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 3rd down and long. Sandberg out of the gun, wants to throw, fires it. It's incomplete. At the 15-yard line, that ball was really zipped in there, and it was incomplete. McKnight was the intended receiver. That play was well covered. There was a little bit of a seam there, but Manatee could not complete it, so in comes Greg Moss, and I'm sure St. Thomas Aquinas is thrilled.
Oh, yeah, they are, and even if they complete that pass, I don't think it's enough for the first down, so Manatee would be settling for the field goal regardless.
I think it's important to get on the board here in a game like this. These 3 points, if we can get them here, could be important.
Moss will try a 35-yard field goal. Hernandez the holder. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up. It's got enough length, and it is good. Greg Moss nails it from 35 yards. Canes lead 3-0. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC.
Special thanks as always goes out to Broward orthopedic specialist. Our good doctors Riley, Angelillo, Gilbert, and Lindelall. Sideline warning against the Raiders.
We're back at Brian Piccolo Stadium. The Canes just go up on top 3-0. It was an 11-play drive, 74 yards, took 5 minutes, 50 seconds off the clock. Greg Moss from 35 was good, 3-0 Hurricanes.
All scoring recaps brought to you by Buccaneer Pawn. Whether you're buying or selling, visit Buccaneer Pawn at 3119 1st Street, Bradenton, and their new location at 1750 North Washington, Sarasota.
You know, Danny, they may try to strike deep and fast, real quick on us long. That's what I'm only concerned about in this game, the big, long plays.
Hernandez will be kicking. Jonathan Hernandez. Back deep, Fred Coppett and Marcus Magwood. Here we go. Hernandez nails it. It's a very, very high kick, and it's taken at the 2. To the 10, to the 15, out to the 20, to about the 23-yard line by Magwood. Marquise Magwood.
Didn't quite make the end zone, but that's okay. We're all right.
So Aquinas will go on offense for the first time tonight. We're midway through the first quarter. 6:04 to go in the first period. Canes lead 3-0 on a 35-yard field goal by Greg Moss. This offense for Aquinas led by John O'Corn, a 6'4", 210-pound senior quarterback. Fred Coppett starts in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left. O'Corn out of the shotgun. He sends 1 receiver in motion. He takes the snap, and he will give off to Coppett. Coppett breaks it to the 30, still on his feet, across the 30 to the 35, driving the pile to the 38-yard line goes Coppett. Wow, that's 14 15 yards on first down by Fred Coppett, who averages 6.5 yards a touch. And we've got an injured player.
The gain is up to the 39-yard line. Let's go for a first down, Raiders.
So we've got an injured player. We'll keep it here. Could be. Well, we're not going to speculate on who it could be. Well, Danny says it's Aaron Pruitt, inside linebacker. So we've got time to catch you up on some things. Of course, we'll be live if the Hurricanes win this game, when the Hurricanes win this game, at Beef O'Brady's, and they've got a great audience at Beef's tonight, watching the live stream and listening to us. That's Beef O'Brady's every Tuesday night for Hurricane Hotline. One of our sponsors for this game, Crowder Brothers, Ace Hardware and Gifts and Gadgets. 2 convenient locations in Manatee County, one on Manatee Avenue West, 5400 block, and one out in the ranch, Lakewood Ranch Boulevard. Crowder Brothers, Ace Hardware and Gifts and Gadgets. Also, Moulter Pest and Wildlife Control, state licensed and insured. If you have any problems with those critters, inside or outside, call Danny Moulter at Moulter Pest and Wildlife Control. Pruitt gingerly walking off the field.
Yeah, I was afraid it was his leg, but the way he's walking, it's not. He might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him or something.
Yeah, the way I'm looking at that, it looks more like it's a shoulder than anything else. So coming in his place tonight is going to be number 52, Nashon Smith, sophomore.
Yeah, Nashon, 5'10", 181-pound sophomore. So it's first down and 10 for Aquinas. O'Korn wants to throw. He fires it out. It's complete, and there's a fumble on the play. Boy, they say incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. The intended receiver was Chandler Dorrell, and he was really smacked there by Darian Mabry.
Yeah, big hit. He came up right on contact, come up with a big hit right there. Mabry's been doing that all year long.
Mabry, the leading tackler on this team. So it's second down and 10. Aquinas has it at their 39-yard line, driving right to left. Canes lead 3-0, 5:39 to go in the first period. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. O'Korn out of the gun. He takes the snap, drops back, wants to throw, has a lot of time, fires it. It's complete at the 45, to the 40, to the 38-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 as Chandler Dorrell caught it on the far side and picked up nice yardage before Brooks brought him down, but O'Korn had time to throw, and he delivered a strike.
He did. It was a beautiful throw, really, way out on the outside out there.
That was a 22-yard pass play, and we saw a lot of film on O'Korn, and, boy, if he has the time, he can deliver the football. Big kid, 6'4". Out of the gun, O'Korn takes the snap. Here come the Canes, and O'Korn will have to get rid of it, and it's incomplete. Boy, he was under duress that time from John McElfresh.
That's what it's going to take, too, Danny, to stop that young man. He can throw the football really well.
Boy, what a situation here for Nashon Smith to step into.
Wow. He's come in, he's played a little bit sparingly here and there since he moved up from the JV level, and I'll tell you what, a lot of pressure put on the kid right now. Let's see how he reacts. Great job by John McElfresh up there, and the front four got tremendous pressure on O'Korn right there.
O'Korn will stay in the shotgun on second and 10. Let's see if the Canes can get some more pressure on this Houston commit. He takes the snap, and he is going to give off to Coppett on the right side. He's got a couple of yards, and the ball is loose on the far sideline. And let's see who has it. And I think Aquinas is going to keep the ball.
We do have a flag about the 35-yard line. I think that's going to be a hold on St. Thomas right there. The question will be, Manatee will deny the penalty, I think.
If they have the ball.
All sorts of things happening on that play, guys.
Yeah, they'll decline the penalty right there and leave them with a third down and long situation.
Coppett fumbled the football, but Aquinas was able to
foul against
get
us.
I don't know. I didn't see that one coming right there. But even if Manatee had recovered, it would have wiped it out, and it had been St. Thomas ball again.
I wonder where. I mean, that was called in a weird place for a personal foul.
Well,
there was so many players over there you couldn't see really what was going on, Danny.
Yeah, it was Marquise Dawson, whoever he was up against, and that was a personal foul thrown right there. Let's see if the Manatee defense can tighten up a little bit right here. St. Thomas has got the ball down around the 24-yard line of the Hurricanes.
4:58 to go in the first quarter. Canes lead 3-0. Aquinas driving the football, 1st and 10 at the Manatee 24. O'Corn sends a man in motion left to right. He takes a snap, and Coppett takes the football. He's across the 20, and he's still on his feet to about the 16-yard line. Fred Coppett, only 5'9", 150 pounds, but boy, does he run tough. And that time, Coppett picked up very nice first down yardage. It'll be 2nd and short. It'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 2. Line of scrimmage, the 16-yard line. O'Corn will go under center for the first time tonight. London is now the fullback, Madre London. And Coppett will get it. Coppett gets the first down on the right side. It'll be 1st and 10 to the 11-yard line. Coppett picks up 5. And this big offensive line for Aquinas is opening up some holes. And I mean, they're big. 285, 265, 270, 285, 280. That's left to right.
They're having their way with Manatee's front four right now. They're just pushing them back. Manatee can't find a way to penetrate like they've done in games past right now.
That's because they got some great big guys up there where we haven't had those kind of size guys yet.
O'Corn back in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He takes the snap. He's going to run the football, and he gets across the 8 to about the 7-yard line. Nice stop by John McElfresh for the Hurricanes. So it'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 7, maybe 6. We'll call it 6. 4-yard pickup, down to 3:30 to go in the first period. Let's see if the Canes can hold Aquinas, keep them out of the end zone here.
We need something big here, guys, like a throw for a loss or a TO.
Backs in the eye, and Coppett will get it on the left side, breaking tackles and fighting for the end zone, and he is in for a touchdown. Boy, Coppett with a strong run on the left side. They just lined up in the eye and played good old smash mouth football, and Aquinas is up 6-3 early in this game.
That's a pretty strong drive right there, guys.
For the first time since the first game of the year, Manatee trails a football game.
Yeah, right there, just old-fashioned hard football right there. We're just going to jam it down your throat. Hey, we're going to take control right here, and that's exactly what they did.
Alex Knight on to try the point after touchdown. Snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good. So we have a 7-3 game now with 3:13 to go in the first quarter. And I'll tell you what, guys, Manatee had its chance. There were a couple balls laying there on the turf, and we didn't get them.
Well, you got to go back over there now. The defensive coordinator, Jim Phelan, he's going to make some adjustments. Let's see what the adjustments they make after that opening drive. We'll throw it down to the field. Gene's down there with him right now. And Gene, what kind of attitude do you have going down around along the
Well, I think the defense is a little bit upset with themselves, but they've got to come out and, I mean, hey, St. Thomas is a great team. We know that. They're bigger than looking at them down here on the field. They're a pretty big team, but our defense, has to step up. We played great all year. Offense has to continue, and unfortunately, Walters is a little nicked with his ankle, I think, and Pruitt is out for the game, I'm sure.
All right, Gene, thanks for that update. Back deep for the Canes, Kelvin McKnight, Taryn Cotton, and Joe Robinson. McKnight in the middle of the field. Kickoff is going to be taken by McKnight. McKnight at the 10, McKnight at the 15, McKnight to the 20, to the 25, to the 27-yard line. Pretty good return by Kelvin McKnight, much better field position. 17-yard return, and the Hurricanes will drive start at the 27-yard line. Driving left to right, trailing again for the first time since the Miramar game.
Oh, they've been there before. It's been a long time since they've been in this situation. The Canes just got to go back and click on offense a little bit, and let's see if they can't get back on top here on this drive.
Sandberg stays in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Cord rolling to his left, rolling, wants to throw, lofts it downfield, and waiting for the signal. Is it a catch? No, it's incomplete at the 37-yard line. Intended receiver was McKnight. He almost came up with it on the far sideline.
Yeah, I think he may have actually grabbed it on that far side. He's just out of bounds with it. So he had some space. There's some space in those. They're creating space from the defenders a little bit right now. You just got to corral the football a little bit. Manatee just got to settle in a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They got to settle down right now and put together a drive right here.
Walters the lone setback. 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers to the near side. There goes Hines in motion. And it will be Hines on the jet sweep trying to get outside. He gets across the 30 to the 32-yard line. That's a pickup of 4, maybe 5 yards. So we'll have a big 3rd down coming up for the Canes.
Yeah, we could have used that one on 1st down, that play right there.
It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 5 for the Hurricanes.
It's a good down for Cord right here, Danny. Turn it up and pick up the 1st down, Cord.
Canes have it at their 32-yard line. Need 5 yards to keep the drive alive. Sandberg out of the shotgun. Cord takes the snap. He looks. He lofts it downfield. It's incomplete. He wanted McKnight. And, boy, that ball was just overthrown. McKnight was held up, something. And St. Thomas Aquinas holds, and Manatee will be forced to punt.
Well, that was an interesting call, Danny. I think I would have let Cord option it out there and tuck it up and get the 1st down to keep the drive alive.
The problem is there's a miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback on that one. He was open. He just didn't get off the line of scrimmage very well. If he goes and he gets out there, he's gone. A lot of running room.
Jonathan Hernandez will be punting. Chandler Dorrell back deep for St. Thomas Aquinas. It's a good snap, and Hernandez gets his left foot into it, and Dorrell will take it at the 30. He's got some room to the 35, and he is met by McElfresh and driven down at the 40-yard line. Good field position, though, for the Raiders.
Good punt and good coverage, though, that time. We had a long way to back. Now we need a turnover for sure, Danny.
Yeah, the Hurricanes got to settle in a little bit on the defensive side of the football. We've gotten one time they got a little bit of pressure on O'Corn. Outside of that, they've had their way with what they want to do on the first drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 41 of the Raiders, driving right to left with the lead 7-3. O'Corn in the shotgun, 2 running backs on either side. O'Corn takes the snap, and he will give off to Coppett. Very slow play that Dawsey drops Coppett for a loss. Man, that play just didn't get started, and that's a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, good job on the defensive front that time. They stuffed everything up front. Nowhere for him to run, and I'll tell you what, he got a favorable spot.
Yeah, he did.
Call it a two-yard loss on that play.
Yeah, ball back at the 39-yard line now. 2nd down and 12. That's what the Canes need, some negative plays produced by their defense. O'Corn out of the gun, takes the snap, fires over the middle, has a receiver wide open at the 50. It's a 1st down to the 47-yard line. Boy, he just stood right in there and hit Richardson, Franklin Richardson, for a 13-yard gain.
You guys are right. If he has any time, buddy, he can throw the football, Danny.
It's almost to the point you got to figure out what you got to do differently. Do you come up and press and take those guys out and give your defensive line an opportunity to change things up a little bit? Canes have traditionally, so far throughout the year, been very good coverage down the field. Right now, St. Thomas is finding the holes.
Well, they may just go strictly airborne here. They've had a lot of success throwing. O'Corn takes the snap. He looks like he might be setting something up in the middle of the field. He fires. It is caught at the 25 to the 23-yard line. Well, I don't know what Dentrell Muller is saying. It was a caught football by Barr. Barr caught it. Yeah, Mark Barr caught it. Boy, it looked like Dentrell thought that the ball hit the turf.
I had no question at all. That was a catch without a doubt. He caught that football. Big gain by St. Thomas.
No, Muller with good coverage, but that ball was well thrown.
No
Mark
pressure.
Barr caught it. So it's 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 22. Aquinas already with a 7-3 lead, just 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. O'Korn takes the ball, wants to throw. He's firing down to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Excellent coverage by Dentrell Muller on the near sidelines, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Boy, they take their shots downfield.
Well, and the thing about it, here's what the difference is right now. He's getting rid of the ball in less than 3 seconds. There's no doubt that you can't get to him quick enough. It's boom, gone.
He's going to have to send a linebacker, you know.
And we've got our hands on our hips, Danny, already.
Oh, yeah, the Canes are already gasping for air right now. They got their backs against the wall, see if they can turn something up.
2nd and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 22 of the Hurricanes, as Aquinas is driving right to left. O'Korn with an empty backfield. O'Korn takes the snap. Drops back, wants to set up a screen, but he'll go down way back at the 42, and he fumbles the football. It's picked up by the Hurricanes. It's Blake Keller to the 30, to the 25. He is finally out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Oh, my. What a turnaround in this football game.
Tremendous job. Blake Keller comes in, creates the pressure, causes the fumble, gets up, picks up, and returns it another 35 yards down the field, sets it up right just outside the 20-yard line. Right on the 20-yard line will be placed. A great job. Hurricanes, when they needed it, they get it. Blake Keller, the go-to guy.
That's a huge play. I mean,
well, it looked like he wanted to set up a screen, but no one was out for the screen. And Keller just kept coming and made the play. All right, Canes back on offense, 1st and 10. Ball just shy of the 20-yard line. Cord takes the snap. He wants to throw. He fires it out. Has an open receiver. That's Hines to the 15. And he is driven out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. That's a 9-yard pickup by Marquell. And it'll be 2nd down and short. The Hurricanes are in the Coastal Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Red Zone. Coastal, your premier source for quality orthopedic care. Only 4 seconds to go in the first quarter. Canes trail 7-3, but just got a huge turnover thanks to Blake Keller.
And a good run, too. We call that RAF, run after fumble.
A lot of confusion here. Man,
might have to call a timeout.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they do.
So the Canes call a timeout. We'll keep it right here. We want to welcome a couple of new sponsors tonight. Number 1, First America Bank. They proudly support Manatee High School football. They have locations all over Manatee County. 2811 Manatee Avenue West. They've got one in Palmetto, one in Ellenton. If you live South County, they've got one in Sarasota. Also, all the way down in Osprey. You can check them out online, firstamericabank.com. And also, we welcome our good friends at Manatee Memorial Hospital. It's the Manatee Memorial Foundation, helping people close to home now and in the future. They were established back in 1992. The Manatee Memorial Foundation, it's a nonprofit organization, was formed to support health-related needs for the Manatee County community. Back to action here. Hurricanes have it 2nd and 1. Sandberg will operate out of the shotgun. Walters the lone setback. Cord takes the snap, and there's a flag on the play. It's going to be a legal procedure.
Well, you don't like to see that after a timeout. You know, everything should
They just look discombobulated there.
They did. And that's why we took a timeout, though. And then we get back on the field. We were still out of sync. Let's get with it, guys.
There you go, from 2nd 1 to 2nd 6.
Big difference.
Not a killer, though.
No.
Fortunately, it's 2nd down, not 3rd down. Canes wanted to run a little read option there. Let's see if they go back to that play. Having a hard time, it looks like, maybe getting the plays in, Danny.
They're struggling as far right now. Joe generally has been pretty good all year long. He's kind of hiccuping right now.
Sandberg with a 2nd and 6. Cord takes the snap. And another flag. What is that all about?
I think we moved again.
Are you kidding me? But very uncharacteristic of this Hurricane team, bogging down like this.
Everybody moved except for the center snapping the football.
This is something we had issues with last year, but we certainly have not had this problem this year. But I don't think we've gone against a defense like St. Thomas Aquinas.
1 minute, you're down to the 12-yard line. Here's the thing. It should still be 4.9 seconds on the clock. They've run the clock off twice. There's no reason that clock should have moved at all.
No, it should be back over 4 seconds. And we're down to 0.7 seconds. Because we haven't run a play yet.
They're going to put 4.5 back on the clock.
Sandberg out of the shotgun. Second down now on 11. We're out of the Coastal Orthopedics and Sports Medicine red zone. Back at the 21-yard line. Gene Brown, what's been the problem down there? Looks like a little lack of communication.
4.5 is what he's asking for, and we ain't.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just, we're kind of getting anxious and Cord's moving the running back over and the offensive line, the crowd noise, the band's going. I mean, from what I can tell, it's just we're a little tight. We got to get loose.
Yeah. All right, it'll be second down and 11. Gene Brown on the sidelines tonight.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
He wants 4.5, gentlemen. Y'all keep putting 4.4.
All right, let's not, I guess.
They ain't quite got it right yet.
Argue over a tenth of a second. Hurricanes will have second down and 11. The line of scrimmage is the 21 of Aquinas. Manatee driving left to right. And we are set to go. Let's see what the Hurricanes can dial up here. Sandberg out of the shotgun. Cord takes the snap. He will pitch it back to Walters. Walters trying to get to the outside, and he gets to the 21. That's the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's going to be third and 11. And that's it for the first quarter. So the Hurricanes trail after the first period 7-3. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football presented by Conley Buick GMC.
We're proud to announce the Bradenton Company is the official supplier of championship rings for the FHSAA. All participants at the FHSAA state event qualify.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
For the Canes, driving right to left as we open up the second quarter line of scrimmage, the 21 of Aquinas. Sandberg out of the shotgun. He takes the snap. Cord wants to throw. He fires it down for Walters, incomplete. Wanted Walters coming out of the backfield.
He had him, too. He just a bad throw.
Just needed to lead him, and it would have been a touchdown.
Yeah. Poor throw. He had him wide open.
Hurricanes will bring out the field goal unit. They get the turnover and get it second down and 1 at the 11. 2 penalties, brings it back to the 21, and they can't pick up any additional yardage. So now Moss will be called on to kick a 38-yard field goal. Ball will be put down at the 28. Moss has a 35-yarder. This will be a little longer, a 38-yarder. Hernandez the holder. Moss gets it up. It's got plenty of distance, and it is no good. No good. Moss missed it to the left, and the Canes get the turnover but can't get any points. I will say this, though. At least they didn't get Aquinas from scoring because they were on the verge of going up 14-3.
Yeah, I was hoping we get that field goal in 7-6. That'd have been a big difference right there, because it went in a field goal and you're back in your ahead again.
Right there, that drive is nothing. It only stalled out based on the penalties that took place right there. So if penalties don't get you, you got a whole different play call that you can do at 2nd and 1 versus 2nd and 11.
Well, the Manatee defense has to hold Aquinas. That's something that they haven't been able to do, and let's see if they got the turnover. But you can't count on turnovers all night long. O'Corn out of the backfield, takes the snap, and he will give off to Coppett. Coppett trying to run to his left. He's in trouble on the left side, and he turns the corner finally and makes something out of nothing and ends up getting a couple of yards on the far side. Boy, he picks up 3. Boy, we had him pinned on the far sideline, and somehow he was able to get across the 20 out to about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, he had him absolutely pinned back. They're actually going to spot him to the 24.
That's a 4-yard gain. We had him for -3. Somehow he turned the corner and picked up 4 yards.
He's good, guys. He's quick.
O'Korn sends 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. We're just underway in the second quarter. 7-3, Aquinas leads the Hurricanes. O'Korn takes the snap, sets up in the pocket, wants to throw long, has a receiver, but it's incomplete at about the 40-yard line. Incomplete. Barr was the intended receiver. Pretty good coverage, though, by the Hurricanes. That ball was overthrown, deep post pattern.
Barr is committed to Marshall, I think.
Yes.
The first time tonight, St. Thomas tries to go deep right there. Didn't have him. I mean, he overthrew him a little bit. Expect him to go. I think they'll go back to the passing game. Expect something underneath, quick and short.
Dentrell Muller on the coverage. He's done a great job all year for the Hurricanes. 3rd down and 6. Huge 3rd down early in this football game. O'Korn operating out of the gun, sends a man in motion. O'Korn takes the snap. Here come the Canes. O'Korn has a lot of time. Now the pocket breaks down, and he's going to run the football, and he's going to get the first down as he goes out of bounds on the far sideline at the 30-yard line. So O'Korn scrambles for the first down, and it's 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes.
He couldn't find anybody open, though, at that time, Danny.
You get good coverage down the field, and that time your front 4 can't do what they need to do to find the guy.
Well, he had all day to throw it, and then he couldn't find anybody. He was able to scramble for the first down.
Yeah, give St. Thomas's offensive line some credit. Right now, they're controlling the 2 interior guys. They've got Callaway and DeMarcus Christmas completely corralled.
1st and 10 for Aquinas at their own 30, driving left to right. Again, 7-3. The Raiders lead the Hurricanes. O'Korn out of the gun, takes the snap, wants to throw. He fires it. It's complete on the far side for 8 yards. Going out of bounds after catching the football, Mark Barr. So it'll be 2nd down, and they're going to say, he went out of bounds at the 37, so it'll be a 7-yard gain and a 2nd and 3, but nevertheless a good 1st down pickup. O'Korn now under center. When they get short yards, they line up in the I, and that's what they're in. Coppett the I back, London the fullback.
Watch for Coppett.
Coppett will get it on the left side. He has the first down and more to the 45, still on his feet. He's to the 40, he's to the 30. He's finally dragged down at the 23-yard line. And right now, Aquinas is doing whatever they want, and a late flag on the play.
They just ran through everybody.
They call a horse collar on that. That's a poor call. He grabbed him by the shoulder pads and brought him down. That's not a good call at all. I guarantee you that's what it's going to be, is a horse collar call, but it's not a good call.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right, because when I saw in action there, I thought, I hope he hadn't got a hold of that horse collar deal.
Well, the top-ranked team in the country being shocked right now. Still very early in this game, 10:36 to go in the first half. Aquinas leads 7-3.
No foul, Danny, you're right.
They're going to wave it off.
Good job by the referees right there to get together on that one. That was grabbed on the shoulder pads. It wasn't a horse call.
But Coppett picks up a ton of yards, gets all the way down to the 22-yard line.
Who was that caught him? Because he was moving.
Darian Daly.
He did a great job to catch him, guys, because that kid's fast.
O'Korn now has 3 backs in the backfield as he is in the shotgun. He was under center. Now he's back in the shotgun. Now he sends a man in motion, and O'Korn will give off to a running back who is hit and driven down. That's Coppett again. We're not giving that young man any break, are they? That's a loss on the play. That's what the Canes needed. So it's a loss of 3. It'll be 2nd down. Maybe a loss of 2.
That just means they'll throw it, though, unfortunately.
2nd and 14. 10 minutes to go in the first half. It's been all Aquinas. Canes did take the opening drive and drove a long way, but they had to settle for a field goal. London is now in the backfield as quarterback O'Korn wants to throw. He fires it down. It's incomplete, tipped, and incomplete again. Was almost caught by the second receiver. The ball was tipped up in the air, but it hit the turf, and it'll be 3rd down and long. So this is what the Canes need, 3rd and long situations. Boy, that would have been a heartbreaker, as Holmes almost got it on the deflection.
You better believe it would have been a heartbreaker, and I thought he had it, but from where we look at it, it looked like it was on the ground, and it was, so thank goodness.
3rd and 12, line of scrimmage, the 24 of the Hurricanes. Raiders driving left to right. Canes need to put some pressure on John O'Corn. O'Corn has 3 receivers to the right, very tight. Now he sends a receiver in motion to the right. O'Corn takes the snap, wants to throw, fires it across, and it is caught by the receiver, Corey Holmes, and Holmes has a 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal down to about the 5. Where are they going to call it? Maybe the 7-yard line?
7. Yeah, they'll put it down at the 7-yard line right now. Boy, they're picking the Manatee defense apart.
They are picking it apart, but that was just a crossing pattern, you know.
On 3rd and 12.
Yeah, that's the bad news.
Well, he's had all day to throw it. And right now, they're threatening to go up 14-3. I formation. O'Corn will give off to Coppett on the right side, and he goes down at maybe the 4-yard line. That's a pickup of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal. We'll call it the 3-yard line. So the Canes need to get tough here, need a goal line stand. They already trail 7-3. Again, first time Manatee has trailed since the first game of the year. O'Corn under center. Coppett is the running back. He's deep. Now they send 2 fullbacks as Coppett gets the call on the left side, and no, he keeps it. I'm sorry, O'Corn with a fake, and he kept it on the right side. A beautiful fake. Faked everybody out, including myself, and O'Corn gets the touchdown. He just bootlegged it to the right, faked it to Coppett, and it's 13-3, Aquinas. O'Corn with a beautiful move. And just like that, these Aquinas fans are going crazy.
I don't know, Dan, they got to get some pressure on him. They're going to have to send a linebacker, and our most experienced linebacker, they hurt, and he's out.
Alex Knight for the extra point, and it's up, and it's good. So it's now 14-3. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC.
Special thanks to our sponsors again, Contour Marine Construction and Shooters. Best steaks in South.
1 match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to come at you.
1 shot at this.
.3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time...
And the Hurricanes trail by its biggest margin of the year. Kicking off is Knight. He'll kick off, and he just pooches it downfield, and it's picked up at the 34, and going down right there is Andruzzi. Man, that was a weird day. He almost missed it or something. Guys, we have an injured player too. So the Canes will have pretty good field position. We've got a timeout on the field to tend for an injured player. We'll keep it right here. One of our sponsors, they've been with us all year long. Sandbar Beach House Mar Vista. For the very best in waterfront dining, visit one of these 3 fantastic restaurants. The Beach House, located, of course, right out in Bradenton Beach. The Sandbar, beautiful Anna Maria. And out on Longboat Key, you've got Mar Vista. Sandbar Beach House, Mar Vista.
The Hurricanes got to find a way both offensively and defensively to control the trenches. Right now they're being controlled at both sides of the football.
They got to get outside, I'm afraid, with Sandberg trying to run the football and the little bubble screen, that kind of stuff.
Line of scrimmage at 32. Sandberg sends 2 receivers to either side. Walter's the lone setback. Cord takes the snap, fakes to Walters. He fires it out. It's complete to the 35 to the 36, and going down right there was Kelvin McKnight. That picks up for about 4 yards.
Just like a good run play right there, a good 4-yard positive play, and the Canes will set up 2nd and 6 here.
But you know, Danny, other than the first drive, we really haven't established any rhythm at offense. You know what I mean? Where we mix it up good, move the ball. And when we did, we stopped ourselves with penalties down there.
Yeah, if Manatee doesn't pick it up here, you're going to point to getting the ball down to the 11 and not being able to get anything out of it. Sandberg out of the shotgun on 2nd and 6. Cord takes the snap. He wants to throw. He fires it. It's complete to McKnight. McKnight reverses his field to the 45, and he is slung down at the 47-yard line. Boy, that was a nice tackle there almost by the neck. 13-yard pickup and a 1st down and 10. I don't see a flag, though. Well, is there a flag on the far side, Danny?
I think they may have.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to see what they do right here.
I believe there is a flag on that, Danny.
That was kind of high on the tackle right there. I'll be surprised if it's not
personal
a
foul. Yep. You got it.
Yep, I see it. It's right on the 50. It's kind of mixed in with the white. You can barely see it. So that's a huge penalty. That'll help this Hurricane drive, no doubt about it.
It looked like he almost grabbed him around the neck or something, though, the way he did it.
Almost like one of those old wrestling moves. Yeah, and I thought Dusty Rhodes was out there for a minute.
I think they had the sleeper hold on us early. We got to get out of that.
Line of scrimmage now, the 38 of Aquinas. Sandberg out of the gun on 1st down. He will fire out to Hines, incomplete. Well, he wanted Hines. It was incomplete. Boy, he just threw that ball about 900 miles an hour, and it sailed on Cord. Cord needs to just calm down a little bit.
It doesn't look like he's really settled in very well so far. I mean, he's thrown a couple of passes that have been a couple of miscues right there that we should have picked up some receptions on, but he hasn't been as sharp as he's been. Again, last week he wasn't sharp early on either.
7:17 to go in the first half. Canes trail 14-3. Manatee has the football 2nd and 10 at the Raider 38-yard line. Sandberg out of the shotgun. He takes the snap. He will give off to Walters, but Walters can't get anything as he is stopped at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 10. This defense, led by Joe Boza and Anthony Moten, is really dominating the Hurricanes right now.
They got 2 Bozas, but one doesn't play. It must be, and he's only a 9th grader.
Yeah, he plays. So
his brother, his brother, probably, obviously.
They spot Walters down at the 39, so that's actually a loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 11. A lot of 3rd and longs for the Canes tonight. Let's see if Cord can get enough time here to deliver the throw downfield. Sandberg out of the gun. He looks. He's being harassed. He gets out of trouble, and he throws long. He's got a receiver, but he overthrew him or he underthrew him. One of the two. He had 2 receivers out on the far side, open.
Yeah, Juwan Pollock.
And he threw it right in the middle of him.
Open, and just threw it in the middle of no man's land.
Well, he made a great move to get away from the pressure.
He had a guy. Pollock was wide open. There's no reason to miss him like that. And you don't see that very often. I'll tell you right now, I honestly believe that at this point, the pressure of this football game is starting to mount on these Hurricanes a little bit.
Well, we talked about how would they play when they were behind. You remember that? Because they really haven't played from behind before. And I was concerned about it. And in fact, we talked about it one game. You know, Danny, how will the Hurricanes play if they get behind in a game?
Well, the Hurricanes are going to have to punt because it's 4th and 11, and Hernandez is checked into the game. 6:26 to go in the first half. Canes trail by 11. It's a good snap to Hernandez, and he gets a very, very high punt off, and it is going to sail into the end zone. So you only gain 19 yards on that.
Wasted kick, actually. I mean,
yes, you're right.
Now, the Hurricane defense has got to rise to the occasion at some point in time. They got to do something by themselves to pick up and change the flow. They did it on one turnover. Can they do it again?
Yeah, they did it on that turnover, and then the offense choked.
We've got a water break on the field, and while the players cool down, this reminder that Southern Comfort 1-hour air conditioning and heating is helping to keep the Manatee Hurricanes cool. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Go to 1hourairbradenton.com for details. That's Southern Comfort 1-hour air conditioning and heating. What do the statistics look like, Danny, from the first quarter?
Well, the first quarter statistics were relatively even. If you look at it a little bit, I mean, total yards of offense on there, Manatee had 75, Aquinas 77. The difference is scoring. St. Thomas put 7 on, Manatee only got 3 in that first quarter of football.
All of our game stats brought to you by CSNL CPAs, numbers you can count on. Go to CSLCPA.com for answers to all your accounting needs. Back to action, Coppett breaks it to the middle and gets to the outside across the 25 to about the 28-yard line for an 8-yard pickup. And tell you what, Manatee desperately needs a hold here. With 6 minutes to go in the first half, they trail 14-3 and really cannot afford to go any deeper in the hole.
It's not that St. Thomas is doing anything crazy. I mean, they're just doing a base offensive line, just blocking and doing what they need to do. Their big guys have controlled our big guys.
Yes, it's in the trenches. That's usually where football games are won and lost, and right now, Aquinas having the edge. Now they go back to the I formation with O'Korn under center.
They were moving.
They fake the Coppett. They want to throw. Pressure being put on by the Hurricanes, and O'Korn gets rid of it, and it will be incomplete. Incomplete. He did a nice job of getting away from Derek and Callaway and Marquise Dawsey.
I think they had a tackle come up early, too, on that play. He was motion.
Yeah, Marquise Dawson did a great job getting up the field, had him close. But again, I think a lot of things are underestimated by, John O'Korn. John O'Korn's a lot quicker than you give him credit for. He finds a way to get out of pressure. There's a reason why he's going to the University of Houston.
Well, they tried a play-action pass there, and I thought it was a pretty good call, but, boy, that would have been a huge sack for the Canes if they could have come up with it, but nothing doing. And now it's a 3rd and 2. O'Korn takes a snap, and he's just going to run the football, and he gets across the 30 to the 35 to the 37-yard line. Another first down by Aquinas.
They had him back in the backfield.
Just a poor job of tackling right there by the Hurricanes. He broke through the first tackle. He finds his way to the first down after that. Canes got to wrap up. They have to do it. They got to find a way to create a little bit more pressure. Granted, the guy gets rid of the ball in a hurry. And I give St. Thomas credit. They did a great job of scouting the Hurricanes so far.
Well, the bad thing is St. Thomas gets the football to open up the second half.
I meant to say that a little while ago, but I didn't want to say it. It's too depressing.
O'Korn takes the snap, wants to throw. He throws long. It's hanging up, and it is caught. A beautiful catch on the near sideline at the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Aquinas. What a catch by Franklin Richardson.
He looked like he was out of bounds, Danny, but they were there.
I've just been text that Willie Taggart apparently is going to USF.
Wow.
So that's the word. We'll try to get confirmation on that. That's a developing story that we'll follow here. Willie's old team, the Canes, need some Willie Taggart magic. As St. Thomas has just completed a long pass along the near sidelines, and it's 1st and 10 now at the 33-yard line of Manatee. O'Korn playing a beautiful game so far. Very poised quarterback. Takes the snap, 2-step drop. Here come the Canes, but he runs away from the pressure, and he will be pushed out of bounds, though, and he loses some yards as he's shoved out for a 3-yard loss. That was Nashon Smith with the play for the Hurricanes, so that'll be a loss. With 4:44 to go in the first half, Aquinas leads 14-3. It'll be 2nd and 12. Line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line of the Hurricanes, as Aquinas really has controlled this game since Manatee got that opening field goal to lead 3-0. O'Korn sends 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Coppett the lone setback. O'Korn takes the snap. He wants to throw, and he fires down, and it is caught. Another nice catch by Mark Barr at the 31-yard line. And one thing you notice, guys, the Hurricanes have some very nice receivers, but they're all around 5'7", 5'8". These guys are 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", so they're big receivers. That play only picked up 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, Aquinas doesn't have a very good kicking game. I think it's 2-down territory here for them.
It'll be 3rd and 8, we'll call it. Ball just shy of the 30. See if the Canes can get more pressure on O'Korn here. They need to. O'Korn takes the snap. Here come the Canes. They're setting up a screen, and Coppett grabs it at the 30 and goes down at about the 28-yard line. He'll be short of the first down, but He'll be close enough, probably, what they were go for it. McElfresh on the stop. That play would have been for a first down, but Coppett bobbled the screen.
Yeah, easily a first down if he corrals it in or right away, but instead he bobbled it a little bit.
This is a huge fourth down, ladies and gentlemen. Need to get on your feet wherever you're watching or listening and cheer this Manatee team on.
St. Thomas going to let his clock run down a little bit and burn a timeout here.
That's a good play. As they're going to talk about their fourth down and see what to call here to try to dial up 5 yards. We're going to take a break. Canes trail Aquinas 14-3. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC.
And International Security, Global Security.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to come at you.
One shot at this.
At the Navy Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Lauderdale, location.
Take the garbage liner out of there.
All right, big fourth down here. Aquinas has the football, fourth down, and we'll call it, now it's 4th and 5, guys. Line of scrimmage, the 28. And they're driving left to right on the Manatee 28-yard line. 3:24 to go in the half. 14-3, Aquinas leads.
I'd be willing to bet on Coppett.
O'Korn out of the shotgun. He takes the snap. Boy, it looked like the receiver jumped, but no call, and it's completed to the 21-yard line, and that's going to be a first down. Boy, it looked like the receiver jumped on the far side. No call, and it's 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
I thought they've moved quite a few times before the snap has happened tonight. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's either great anticipation or they're actually moving before the snap and it's just not being called.
So they convert on 4th down and 5 and now have it 1st and 10 at the Hurricane 21-yard line. 2:59 to go in the first half. Coppett in the backfield along with London. Out of the shotgun, O'Korn sends Holmes in motion right to left. O'Korn sets up a screen. Here come the Canes, and he'll go down back at the 38-yard line. Marquise Dawsey put a licking on O'Korn, and that's a huge loss. Boy, look where they're going to put the football.
I was going to say, where are they placing the ball?
At the 36. We thought it was a 38, but they're going to say 36. We'll take that, though.
Yeah, it's a big play. The Canes needed that to kind of back them out of there. They were in striking distance right there. So now you got them really in a pass situation all the way down right here. So
yeah, that's a loss of how many, Dave? About 14?
14 yards.
And they gave him 5. They should have been back at least 3 more yards.
2nd down and 24. O'Korn out of the shotgun. Under 2 minutes now to go in the first half. O'Korn wants to throw. He's being pressured again, but he'll scramble to the 35 to the 31-yard line where he goes down. So he picks up 5. Nashawn Smith on the stop. But this young man has a very good feel for the game. It's still going to be 3rd and a long way to go.
It's 2 down territory, though, or 4 down. Now it's 2 down.
And it'll be 3rd and 20.
Again, look for the quick pass that's going to come out of this. So look for the receiver to drive the defensive player off a little bit, and then they're going to cut back. Expect that right here, but I think they're going to burn a timeout right here and talk about it with 1:19 to go.
Well, this is a very, very big part of the football game, obviously. If the Canes can get a stop here, then regroup at halftime, and come out in the second half and try to play some Hurricane football, we'll have a chance to come back and win this game. But right now, if Aquinas goes ahead and gets this first down and a touchdown, things will not look good.
With them getting the ball to start the second half.
Well, it's a huge uphill battle if they score on this particular drive right here. The Canes got to find some way. Yeah, if they can get a takeaway right here and do something with it, you set your offense up with an opportunity to try and put yourself in scoring position.
I'd take a stop here even, you know what I mean, just a stop.
Canes, of course, playing without Willie Smith, the fine free safety. Greg Reeves playing that position. And also, Aaron Pruitt was injured. Nashawn Smith is in the game. Gene Brown down on the sidelines. Gene, what's it like down there? Because the Canes haven't been in this position before this year.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like we're still calm. We're ready to go. We just got to, Cord is off a little bit, and maybe, if we can hold them here on defense. And if we don't, we still got to hold them to come out and then get the offense clicking. Let's get some points on the board.
All right, Gene Brown down on the sidelines. 3rd down and 20. O'Korn back in the shotgun, has running backs on either side. He takes the snap. Here come the Canes. O'Korn lofts it downfield, and it's incomplete. Beautiful coverage downfield by the Hurricanes.
Good pressure, too. Lots of good pressure.
And there's a flag. I say you decline this, Danny.
Yeah, I declined it right there.
Don't give them another shot.
It was an illegal shift on St. Thomas. It's only a 5-yard
Which is 5.
penalty.
Yeah, I definitely decline it. That was great coverage by Artis downfield.
I think nothing more right here. They got to go for it on this particular play. They're going to shoot for the end zone.
Yeah, you might as well. The only thing is, if you do miss it here, you give the Canes the football with over a minute to go at the 30-yard line.
Well, and the thing about it is maybe then St. Thomas goes into a prevent type situation. There's a lot of open running room for our receivers with a lot of talent.
What you got to watch here is some sort of a screen play, a draw play to cop it. Well, they're not going to do a draw here, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, find Coppet, follow him wherever he goes.
They might. Coppet is in there.
Yeah.
O'Korn out of the shotgun. On 4th down and 20, he takes the snap, and he will give it to the running back, running a little reverse on the left side, but well short of the first down. He's run out of bounds on the far side. Coppet at about the 25-yard line. That's where the Canes will take over with 1:04. So that's a good defensive stand by Manatee. That was a must defensive stand.
Excellent job.
Give him some confidence, too, Danny.
Got an injured player down for Aquinas.
Now, if I'm the Hurricanes right here, I'm not going to sit on this and be very passive with it. I'm going to try and attack.
You only got one timeout, but that's really all you need here because the clock stops with first downs. We've got a timeout here. We'll keep it here, though, with 1:04 to go in the first half. Canes trail 14-3. Did you ever think that this high-powered offense could be held to 3 points and a half? I didn't.
Well, again,
but it's happened tonight.
They've hurt themselves, Danny. They've hurt themselves.
The first game of the season, we're held to 6 points there, rolling that thing. So, I mean, it's not the fact that they can't be held down. We're held down to 6 by Miramar early in the year. The question is, what adjustments do you make at halftime?
Well, we've hurt ourselves, truthfully. Run the ball and get the ball down there and then not follow through. Cord has really been off, truthfully.
Yep, that's John O'Korn was the guy that was shaken up on the play.
He appears to be okay.
Well, all I got to tell him is you're my quarterback. There's no reason you to be down the field trying to block.
We didn't think it was O'Korn because we didn't think he'd be down there blocking, but they tried to run a little reverse. And the Canes back on offense now, 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, just 1:04 to go in the first half. And it's a low snap. Cord picks it up, fires it out complete to the 30, to the 35. Run out of bounds is Pollock. That should be enough for a first down right at the 35. Now they're going to mark it just over the 35, so it's 1st and 10, 11-yard pickup by the Hurricanes, and Pollock got out of bounds. So the ball at the 36-yard line. A lot of cushion over there on the far side.
Yeah, nothing more than a 4-second play right there. Plenty of time for the Hurricanes to move this ball down the field.
And they are well off the receivers.
Now they come up.
Sandberg out of the gun, takes the snap, and he fires again. It's complete to Pollock on the far side. Pollock fighting for the first down. He got it, so that will stop the clock at the 46-yard line. That's another 10-yard pickup, 10-plus. And the Hurricanes, with 2 plays, have gotten the ball 20 yards upfield. Just 51 seconds to go, though, in the first half. And the play the clock is stopped because of the first down. Now they start it. As Sandberg wants to throw, he comes to the other side. Boy, he floats it over the head of McKnight. Now, that's just a long way to throw the ball, and he wouldn't have got much yards.
No, it's not a bad play. It stops the clock altogether, reset everything, and go from here. 2nd down and 10.
You could still attack the middle of the field here.
I still think the middle is wide open. I still think deep pattern is there if you want to take a shot. What you're doing is you're sucking them up. They're giving you some space. They're trying not to let you get behind them, but I think it's there if you want.
And don't forget that slip screen to Walters. He was wide open earlier in the game, and we missed him. Sandberg out of the gun, takes the snap, wants to throw. He fires it down. It's complete again to Pollock. Pollock gets out of bounds. He's going to be short of the first down, though.
He's saying the clock's running. No, he got out of bounds.
Yeah, he was out of bounds.
He didn't get out of bounds.
He was out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
Run the play, gentlemen. Let's go.
Now we're down to 28 seconds.
Manatee will burn a timeout, Dave.
Yeah, but you wanted to save that timeout.
Wait a second. Why wasn't the clock stopped?
Because
he wasn't tackled.
But I don't think the referee signaled timeout, and I think the clock man watches the.
He clearly stepped out of bounds on that, Eddie. I mean, it wasn't even close.
I know he did,
and they just signaled to run the clock. I think that's a absolutely horrible call by the referee on that side of the field.
Well, it's going to cost the Canes about 14 seconds.
Which is a lot right now. That's half of what we got left.
28 seconds to go, and the Canes had to burn their last TO.
Yeah,
you
can't settle for a field goal in this situation. I mean, you got to drive yourself down there. I mean, points are big, but you got to find the end zone.
Well, now, guys, obviously you get the first down here, then you probably do something that Mark Richt has not mastered.
Yeah, spike the ball.
Yeah, he doesn't know what that's all about. But that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
All right, it's 2nd down and 2.
I'd shoot deep and find Pollock down the field right here.
Yeah, why not? 2nd and 2. Sandberg out of the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left. And Sandberg wants to throw. Now he's being harassed, and he will go down back at the 45-yard line. The Canes have no timeouts. Wow. Unbelievable. That was big Anthony Moten in there. 6'3", 250, and the Hurricanes. Now it's 3rd down, though, so you got to run a play here. And they're going to clock it, and then throw long, I guess, is what you'll do. So it's 4th down, and you take a shot down at the end zone on 4th down. Only 4 seconds to go.
And take a shot for Pollock.
That's inexcusable right there.
That is inexcusable.
Hurricanes out of sync offensively in this first half, and they trail 14-3. Just 4 seconds to go. And what really killed this drive was the referee not stopping the clock when it looked like Pollock, well, he was out of bounds. He didn't look like he was out of bounds. He was out of bounds. So the Canes will throw deep here. Cord's going to have to show some arm strength here because the line of scrimmage is the 46 of the Hurricanes. And he's going to have to roll out and fire the football down. He rolls to the near side, rolls, and he's just going to run the ball. And he'll just run it out of bounds, and the clock will go out. So that'll do it. The Hurricanes head to the locker room, trailing 14-3. Gene will catch up with Joe here momentarily, and you know he's not going to be happy.
He don't want to talk to us, I don't think, right now. He's got too much on his head.
So
I hope he will, though.
I don't even know why.
Coach, kind of an inauspicious start to the first half the way it came out, and then just kind of what's going on.
We're out of sync. We're just, on both sides of the ball. We'll try and go back in and settle them down and get it corrected and come out and play in the second half.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Gene, Joe Cadan. Yeah, they're just out of sync. That says it all right there. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to regroup ourselves. We'll be back for the Shake Pit halftime report. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC.
That's facebook.com/FHS. FHSAA for instant news, along with information on issues that affect Florida high schools. Be a fan of it all.
Hello. Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Manatee High School Music Department is proud to present...
Oh, that's fine. We won't even worry about them here. No problem.
Under the field direction of drum majors Kirsten Baca and Mark...
Okay, thanks, man.
The band captain is Alex Timmerman.
The dance team captain is Rachel Schmidt, and the co-captain is Margarita Phelan.
Yeah, we're
This evening, we begin our show with music from American recording artist and songwriter Kesha. Here are the driving rhythms of We Are Who We Are.
Welcome back to St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Brian Piccolo Stadium. The Hurricanes trail at the half to St. Thomas 14-3. And Eddie, so far, I got to say, St. Thomas has done a great job of preparing themselves for the Hurricanes for tonight's football game.
They have done that, but when you look at it, we come out, we have a nice drive. We had one run, and then we get it, but we had to settle for 3 points. Okay, so now we're on the board. Then they come back and they score. Then we come back and we get down there and we can't score. And then they come back and score again. So Manny had 2 good chances to really be ahead in this game, or really be into this ball game. But because of penalties on that one drive and then a missed field goal, it was disastrous. We get the turnover, which we needed. We get the ball down deep, and they march us back. 3 penalties in a row we had down there. It's just been a mess, unfortunately, in that regard. And confusion getting the plays in didn't help us that one time. And then here, the clock management here in the end really wasn't very good.
Now, something we haven't seen out of Manatee is the ability not to move the football like they've done all year long. I mean, we did struggle against Miramar early in the season. I got a funny feeling that Aquinas used a lot of that film to figure out how did you shut those guys down, because nobody else has done it. So, I mean, if they studied it and did what they had to do, and I'll tell you what, they've done a tremendous job of coming out and slowing Manatee down in every aspect of the football game. Not only on the defensive side of the football have they slowed the Hurricanes down on the offense, but on the offensive side, they've controlled the actual line of scrimmage. They've done everything they needed to do to hold Manatee at bay. We can't get any pressure up front. John O'Corn has done a tremendous job of getting rid of the ball in a hurry, and that's where he puts it at 14-3. Manatee really missed one field goal that would have cut it to 14-6. What really hurt them, though, is, like you said, the turnover, getting the ball down there deep after Blake Keller forces the sack, the fumble, picks it up and runs it back, and we don't do anything with it.
We'd have really been in the ball game then, and then that gives you the momentum. The other thing is I'm watching our defensive line are really got their hands on their hips a lot. They really look sort of beat, honestly, up front. So I hope they can get a second breath coming out, Danny. I'll tell you that, because they're going to have to. Because they got to stop them coming out.
Oh, no doubt. The Hurricanes have struggled so far here in the first half of football. Trail 14-3. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll give you the halftime statistics of the first half of football. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC.
Lincoln. It's right up there. Lincoln, that's it.
This was second. Right here, we got third and 2 twice. One time out. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. There's 3 first downs and 10. There should only be 2. This is the same. Oh, they didn't get to the first down. Oh, Kissimmee? Oh, yeah, first down.
The principal of Manatee High School is Mr. Don Sauer. The marching canes are under the direction of Jim Bruce and Linda Boone. Percussion coordinator is Jasper Miller. The sugarcane director is Amber Kotowski. Assistants to the directors are Jeremy Nance, Nicole Baldwin, Michael Perez, Jason Boone, Paul Fournier, and Francesco Riccardo. The marching canes thank you
you for your attention this evening.
Here's what I do. There's some food in there. Go see Tab.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to the state semifinal game between the Manatee Hurricanes and the St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders. The FHSAA is now on Facebook and Twitter. Go to facebook.com/FHSAA and become a fan. On the site, you can keep up with the teams and people who strive to make high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. That's facebook.com/FHSAA. Follow on Twitter at FHSAA for instant news along with information on issues that affect Florida high schools. Be a fan of it all. Well, the Manatee Hurricanes have struggled all night long in the first half of football, not been in this position all year long. They trail 14-3 here at the half, but if there's any good news all over the place, we finally got a little bit of good news. Dave, you're looking at it right now. Let's talk about some good news other than what we've had so far.
Well, this is according to only sources, so it's certainly not confirmed, but it's on ESPN by Brett McMurphy, and he's pretty well connected, a former writer in the Tampa Bay area, and he's got on ESPN website that Western Kentucky's Willie Taggart has accepted an offer to become the head coach at the University of South Florida, and that's what sources have told ESPN. Taggart, of course, would replace Skip Holtz, who was fired after 3 years. Also, Tampa radio station WDAE, that's, of course, Sports Radio 620, they're also reporting the hiring of Willie Taggart. So that's two independent people, but of course it could be the same source telling two people.
Well, it could be, but you know what? I really think it's absolutely true. I think I knew all along that this was going to be the case. When you look back when they they fired of Skip Holtz, the only guy that was really mentioned in the whole thing was Willie Taggart at length. Everybody else, there was names that were tossed in there. But you know what? Congratulations to Willie Taggart. Happy to have him back home and close to the Manatee County area once again.
Well, he's certainly the crowd favorite to get it. You know, if you talk to USF people, they wanted Willie Taggart. Of course, we wanted Willie Taggart because he's a Manatee guy. We're not USF people, but we probably will be now.
Oh, absolutely. Right? I'll put on the green and gold any day of the week. Cheer him on.
So if in fact it is true, that's a great hire by USF, and it looks like Willie may be coming home, Willie Taggart.
He'll bring a lot of excitement to the fans and to the team and to the game up there. It'll be an exciting game for sure. He'll be a great recruiter, and he's a great spokesperson for that school. He handles himself well. He's very professional. We're very proud to have him back.
Well, I think Willie Taggart is a very smart individual. He's been in some great places at Stanford, done a tremendous job at Western Kentucky. I think most importantly what you find out, the number of players that he took from the state of Florida to Western Kentucky to play. Now, if he does what everybody intends for him to do, which is to work the west coast of Florida, work that I-4 corridor, I think USF can put a very good product on the football field in years to come here.
Well, also today, Butch Jones of Cincinnati was named Tennessee's football coach. Of course, Derek Dooley was fired after Tennessee had just a dismal season, going winless in the SEC and losing to Vanderbilt, being pummeled by Vanderbilt. And Butch Jones from Cincinnati will take over. So all sorts of movement, but the biggest news of all, sources saying that Willie Taggart has agreed to become the head coach at the University of South Florida. Well, it was back in 1992, 20 years ago, that Willie Taggart led the Manatee Hurricanes to a state championship. Will the Manatee Hurricanes repeat 20 years later? Got a lot of work to do, guys.
Got a ton of work to do. We'll find out. It's going to take 24 minutes of football, and we'll see what Joe Canan and Jim Phelan, as far as the defensive coordinator, dials up for this Manatee football team here in the second half. When we come back, we'll have your statistics. We're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football presented by Conley Buick GMC.
All right.
hit for nothing piece. So back up.
Do you have this?
Oh, cool. Nice pull.
You can come back. Like I stay there and eat it. Just get out of the way.
I'll do scores if you want.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course you can. No, you can stay there and eat. You gotta give up. Let's stay out of the way.
Wow.
All right, thanks.
All right.
You find it, Joe?
Hello.
Hold on, Joe. Sorry. Okay, 1 second. Here, Ken. Thanks.
We're back at Brian Piccolo Stadium. It is halftime here. The Manatee Hurricanes trail St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders 14-3. Bright House Sports Network, the official television partner of the FHSAA, is your home for high school athletic sports. For expanded coverage of high school athletics and highlights from your favorite high schools, visit bhsn.com. Well, today we got some updates around the state. Of course, today started the state championship games in the lower classes in 1A, 2A, as well as all of our semifinal action in classes 5 through 8.
Yeah, University Christian with the win in the 2A final, 28-10 over Dade Christian. In the 1A final, Northview leads Trenton 28-7 in the third quarter. And tomorrow in the 3A final will be Madison County and University. And in the 4A final, BT Washington and Jacksonville Bulls. Of course, Bulls plays in that about every year. And moving on to semifinals tonight. In the other semifinal of 7A, Lincoln and Osceola are deadlocked at 7 at halftime. In 8A, Dr. Phillips trailing Apopka 14-6, and Cypress Bay all over Columbus 26-7. In 6A, Gainesville and Navarre are tied. No score in that game. They're still reporting first quarter. No update there. In the 6A game, this is a little bit of a surprise to me. Naples, a very good team, but I just kind of thought Miami Central would win that game, but they're up 10 points, Naples, in the second quarter, 24-14. Robinson over Godby, 17-7 at half, and Immokalee and Miami-Jackson tied at 7 at half.
A couple of surprises and all that, too. You know, I wish the best for Robinson. Robinson's been stuck there for year after year, not being able to get over the hump right there. Well, it's an opportunity now to bring you some statistics of the first half of football. It's been an interesting half. The Hurricanes in an unfamiliar situation, trailing right now 14-3 at the half to the Raiders of St. Thomas Aquinas. This has been a thorn in their side coming down here to Fort Lauderdale, yet to win a football game and trailing now. At the end of the first half, at the score 14-3, St. Thomas Aquinas got 13 first downs to Manatee's 9. Overall offensive plays, Manatee's run 27 to Aquinas' 36 offensive plays. Aquinas has outgained Manatee 212 to 109. I think one of the big question marks in this game, could you slow down Fred Coppett? The question right now would be, can you stop him in the second half? He's carried the ball 11 times for 92 yards. He's had a 4-yard loss. He's actually netted 88 on this evening so far. Fort Sandberg, 9 of 18 throwing the football for 74 yards. Trevon Walters carries the ball 4 times for 21 yards. And Manatee has just found a way. They've just struggled offensively to get things clicking. In the first quarter, Manatee got on the board first with a 35-yard field goal by Gregory Moss. Put the Canes up at the 6:10 mark of the first quarter, 3-0. Aquinas answered, taking their opening drive, driving down the football field. John O'Corn caught up with a touchdown run of 7 yards. Alex Knight's extra point was good, made it 7-3 St. Thomas Aquinas. At the 8:29 mark of the second quarter, John O'Corn again, another touchdown run, a 3-yard run this time, and put the Raiders up 14-3. So Manatee in a very inauspicious situation right now, Dave, and I'm not sure, can they bounce back from this? Can Manatee make the adjustments? I think it all comes down to the opening drive here in the second half.
Yeah, they got to come out and make a statement. They got to play inspired football, and they got to shut down Aquinas, try to get a 3-and-out, and get the football back and move the football and have a drive that is consistent. That's the problem we've had. We haven't had consistency on our drives. And if they can do that, if they can make a quick stop, get the ball back, certainly they're only down 11. They've got plenty of time to get back in this game. And they started to put a little pressure on O'Corn in the second quarter. So hopefully that will continue as we are just a couple of minutes away from playing this third quarter.
And if you look at these statistics, the keys of possession of time, Danny, look at that. 13 minutes, 26 seconds by Aquinas, 9 minutes by Manatee. But third down conversions, Manatee 1 of 6, and they're 3 of 5. Those third down conversions can kill you too offensively. So those are two sort of telltale situations there. And passing yardage, 129 Aquinas and 74 Manatee. That sort of tells you what was going on, offensively and defensively out there. And then, of course, those penalties really hurt them Manatee so bad down there. If we'd have gone in there, this would be an entirely different ball game. So we got to hope they can come out and stop them, though, right now. If they don't stop them on this first drive, we're in a deep, deep hole.
Yeah, statistics definitely tell you that Aquinas is winning this game. And, of course, all of our game statistics all year long brought to you by CSNL CPA's, numbers you can count on. Go to CSLCPA.com and get answers for all your accounting needs. The answers the Hurricanes need right now, a stop on defense and some consistent play on offense. And I think it starts with Cord.
I agree. I think he's the one that's got to get this team clicking a little bit. You got to be able to pass the ball, hit some receivers, move the ball down the field a little bit, and then the running game has got to get established. The offensive line has got to dominate up front in order to make anything happen. I don't know how much throwing I want to do right here to start things off, or do I really want to try and jam the ball down the throat and say, you know what, we came here to make a statement. We are the best team in the country. Let me prove it to you right now.
I think the thing the statistics tell you, though, other than just that they're winning, is that they're throwing the football, so we got to do something different there, and we haven't been very good in third down conversions, and that's usually where we're very strong, and I think that's a big difference in the offense tonight.
Well, let's take it down to Gene on the sidelines. And Gene, you saw them come out after the half. What exactly is the attitude of this football team?
I think they stayed in longer than they normally do, and if you watched them, they're out here like normal, and you can't change a lot of things. You got to come out and play your half, but come out and try not to make the mistakes that we made, and it'll be a little flat. I mean, penalties, if you watched, a couple of times it looked like St. Thomas left tackle was moving. It looked like the receiver moved. We did not get the call where it went against us, so we got to come out. The half that's done is over. Let's play our half. Like, obviously, we have to stop them here and then come back offensively and score. And if we can stop them and make it 14-10, that gives us some momentum and fired up.
I agree with you wholeheartedly right there. The Canes have got to come out and do something defensively and stop it. So we'll get ready here for the second half of the football, and the voice of the Hurricanes with us now, Dave Bristow.
All right, thanks a lot, Danny. And we will be kicking right to left. Hernandez will be kicking deep to Coppett and Marquise Magwood. Here we go. Hernandez puts his left foot into it, and he nails this one back into the end zone. So St. Thomas will drive start from their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for O'Corn and company. A little bit of extracurricular activity out there as these two teams get ready to go at it in the second half, with Aquinas leading 14-3. John O'Corn has had a terrific first half. Kane started to get a little pressure on him, so hopefully they can continue that trend. Fred Coppett has run the ball well. How many yards does he have there, Danny?
88.
88 yards. Boy, you know, he averages 6.5 yards a touch. All right, one more half of football here in the semifinals. Canes on defense as we open up the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Aquinas, driving left to right. John O'Corn, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. O'Corn sends a man in motion. He will give it to the receiver on a jet sweep to the 25, out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Oh, yeah, nice first play. Franklin Richardson gets the jet sweep and gets the first down. Boy, that's not the way to get a 3-and-out.
That's our play right there, the jet sweep.
Well, yeah, he's right on the 30-yard line for a 10-yard pickup. So now we need a 3-and-out.
Just start all over
pretend
again, right?
like they returned it to the 30, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Aquinas has really dominated this game in the trenches. Their big offensive line playing pretty well. O'Corn now is under center, backs in the eye. Coppett will get it on the left side. He squirts ahead to the 35-yard line, picks up 5 yards. 2nd down and 5. Too much yardage on first down. Coppett, not very big, but he's powerful.
Tackle by number 53.
And that kind of yardage gives them a lot of things they can do, you know, on the next down.
Callaway was in there, but boy, you don't want your tackles making plays 5 yards downfield. Well, at least he made it. Aquinas breaks the huddle with a 14-3 lead early in the third quarter. They'll stay with the I formation. They would like nothing more than a ball-controlled drive here. And they give it to the fullback, but he has stopped at the line and driven back. That's London. Boy, Manatee read that and blew up that play. That's probably a loss of a yard. We'll see where he spots the football. Should be at the 34, and that's where it is. So it'll be 3rd and 6. Boy, Callaway and Christmas busted that play up.
Nashon Smith actually crept up on the line and shot the gap right there and helped to slow that play down.
It all starts with those big tackles out there for the Hurricanes. Huge 3rd down. O'Corn out of the shotgun. O'Corn takes the snap. 2-step drop. Now he'll run the ball to the 35, has the first down to the 40. To the 45, to the 50, to the 49-yard line goes John O'Corn. And he has done that so well, he just steps up in the pocket, sees a lot of turf, and takes off for the first down.
It's a Sandberg play right there, you know.
That's the difference in your offensive line controlling the defensive line. I mean, you know, you haven't seen that happen all year long. They're doing a great job.
So you had a 3rd and 6. You couldn't get the stop. Now they're in Manatee territory. O'Corn out of the shotgun, takes the snap, wants to throw, almost picked off. Wow, that ball was almost picked off by Malik Brooks. That would have been huge. Malik couldn't quite hold on to it.
Yeah, he would have had some running room if he could have grabbed it.
A lot of running room ahead of him if he catches that pass.
2nd down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 49 of the Hurricanes. Aquinas with the football. Again, it's 2nd and 10. We're under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. They took it at the 20, and they've advanced it 31 yards. O'Corn sends 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The senior sends London in motion. He takes the snap. He's going to run the ball right up the middle, again to the 45, spinning to the 42-yard line, short of the first down by a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and short. That was just a straight run there.
A straight run.
I was going to say, just a quarterback keeper that
he has killed us with the run.
Yeah, we mentioned this. We talked about on the way down here today. He hadn't ran a whole lot in the last 5-6 games, but if you watch the first 2 or 3 games, he's a very good runner.
3rd down and 2. They'll line up in the I formation. London and Coppett. Coppett's the I back. Here we go. A give off. That's the I back. That's Sands who has checked in. Excuse me. Deltron Sands gets the first down. It doesn't really matter who carries the ball because they're opening up some nice holes, and it's a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 38-yard line. Aquinas methodically driving the ball on the Hurricanes.
Well, you got to stop and you got to look at opportunities. The opportunity just passed on this drive already. You have an interception opportunity. You don't corral it in. And again, they keep the drive alive and moving along.
O'Korn out of the shotgun. They've really been able to do almost anything they want to do. O'Korn wants to throw, being pressured. He'll throw down. He's got a receiver wide open. It's caught for a touchdown. Touchdown, St. Thomas Aquinas. It's 20-3.
Manatee has absolutely no answer for this offense.
20-3 now. Aquinas leads. Alex Knight on to try the extra point. Canes are in a peck of trouble.
That's a Manatee throw right there. You know it, Danny, with Pollock going down that sideline.
Kick is up, and it's good. And it's 21-3, Aquinas over the Canes. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC.
Plays and 80 yards on this going down. Will Arpin will kick the Raiders.
Well, it's been all St. Thomas Aquinas here as the Hurricanes needed a stop to start the third quarter, and just the opposite happened. Aquinas drove the football for a touchdown, getting a long pass. O'Korn right on the money, and it's 21-3. Kickoff now. It's right in the middle of the field. Andruzzi will fall on it at the 30-yard line. Boy, that was close to getting over his hands. He made a really nice play there, though, Andruzzi did. And the Hurricanes will have it 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line. So the Canes down 21-3. Still a lot of time, but you have got to get something going. And the problem is the defense has not been able to slow this offense down a whole lot tonight for Aquinas. Now it's the offense, though, that really needs to score some points and score in a hurry. Sandberg out of the shotgun. 2 receivers split to either side. Cord takes the snap. He will give off to Trevon, and he's stopped at the line and driven back for no gain. 2nd down and 10. They've got tremendous penetration on our offensive line tonight, and we haven't seen that all year. Again, this game is being won in the trenches.
And they were tackling Walters, and all our offensive linemen were standing up in front of them all with just looking.
Manatee 13-0, ranked number 1 in most of the polls, but right now Aquinas looks like one of the top-rated teams in the country. Sandberg out of the gun. It's 2nd and 10. Hines in motion. He fakes it to Hines. He wants to throw. He's got a man, and he drops it.
There's your opportunity, Dan, that you were talking about right there. He would have run a long ways.
Boy, that play has worked very well. Trevon Walters was the intended receiver, and he was open on the far side. And that's that little drag sweep. And, boy, the play was executed well, but it was dropped. And it's 3rd and 10. He would have gone a long way.
That could have got us back in this game real fast.
Boy, if the Canes can't get something going, this game quickly becoming reminiscent of 2 years ago.
3rd down, 10.
Sandberg out of the gun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Need 10 yards to keep the drive alive. Cord takes the snap. He fires it down. It's caught for the 1st down at the 42-yard line. Pollock caught it. Cord delivered it perfectly. So we will maintain the football here. That was a huge throw and catch. So it'll be First down and 10 for the Canes from the 41-yard line of Manatee. 7:51 to go in the third quarter. Sandberg operates out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cord sends Hines in motion, and he will shovel it to Hines. Hines with tough running, only a yard. It'll be second down and 9. The Hurricanes running into a pretty tough front line here for Aquinas. That was Nick Boza, brother of Joseph Boza. Line of scrimmage now the 43 of the Hurricanes. Problem is the clock's ticking away.
You know, Moten up there's as big as Boza. Exactly.
And he's only a junior. Sandberg again sends Hines in motion. And he again will run the shovel pass to Hines across the 45 to the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. He'll be short of the first down. It'll be third down. We'll see where they end up spotting it. It's at the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3, and Eddie, they're probably in 4-down territory here, don't you think?
They're going to about have to be. I think we're about to that point, David. We're just going to have to take a chance because it doesn't matter. It's like playing Manatee, like we used to say, whether they drive 50 yards or 75 or 80 yards, you know.
Sandberg out of the gun. 3rd down and 3 from their own 48. Sandberg again will shovel it ahead across the 50 to the 45 to the 44-yard line. It's a first down for Marquell Hines. 3rd straight shovel pass. Hines a little slow to get up, but he appears to be okay. So it's 1st and 10 for the Canes. 3 straight plays on shovel passes. So line of scrimmage, the 44 of Aquinas, down to 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Canes trail 21-3. And Manatee is cramping up. They're going to have to call a timeout, or well, it's an injury timeout. Official timeout with 6:16 to go. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC.
Yet to be played. McLaren's begin the 2012 FHSAA Football Final State Championship game, hosted by the Central Florida Sports Commission, the City of Orlando, and Edgewater High School. The intense action takes place at the Citrus Bowl in Orlando with championship games in classes 1, 2, 3, and 4A on December 7th and 8th, and championship games in classes 5, 6, 7, and 8A on December 14th and 15th. Admission to each game is $12. Come out and watch the best of Florida high school football play. Visit the FHSAA website at FHSAA.
That was Hines who was cramping. Also, Mike Galati banged up a little on the play. I think he's okay, but he'll come out. And Brooks Larkin will check in. So the Hurricanes with the football at the Aquinas 44-yard line. First down and 10. Sandberg back in the shotgun. Cord takes the snap, wants to throw. He fires it down, complete to Robinson to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 26-yard line. That's a nice play, about 17 yards. Robinson checked into the game for Marquell Hines and immediately catches the ball and picks up nice yardage after the catch. Joe Robinson. Robinson, only a sophomore, 5'9", 162 pounds.
We got another timeout, I think.
We got a water break on the field.
Yeah, right, for water.
And while the players cool down, this reminder that Southern Comfort 1-hour air conditioning and heating is helping to keep the Manatee Hurricanes cool. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Go to 1hourairbradenton.com for details. That's Southern Comfort 1-hour air conditioning and heating. Well, Eddie Mulock, the Hurricanes showing a little life here offensively. Getting the football down to the 26-yard line where it's first down and 10. And you've got to get on the board, make it 21-10, and then hopefully the defense can come to life.
Yeah, it looks pretty bleak, of course, but the truth is anything can happen, but they've got to get in the end zone here. They can't take another field goal. They got to get in the end zone.
I don't know. They start the clock on a water timeout? Maybe it wasn't a water timeout. Johnny Lang has checked into the game for the Canes. First and 10. Sandberg takes the snap. He fires it out to Yancey. Yancey to the 20. Yancey to the 15. Yancey to the 10. Yancey, is he in the end zone? Waiting for the signal. No, he stepped out. They're going to say he stepped out way back at the 7-yard line. Man, he was tight roping down the near sidelines. Beautiful play by Broderick. It'll be 1st and goal.
Stepped out of bounds inside the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, Manatee.
5:24 to go in the third quarter. Canes trail 21-3, but Manatee threatening. 1st and goal. The Canes are in the Coastal Orthopedics and Sports Medicine red zone. Sandberg operating out of the shotgun. Cord takes a snap, a low one, and he throws it down and just throws it away as he got hit as he threw the football.
Number 4, Markel Hines.
Hines he wanted, but he just really threw that ball away. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 7. Again, a little bit of a low snap, threw that play out of kilter a little bit.
And Lance Virgil. 2nd and goal for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, he didn't have much choice. He just said that was a bad snap. He grabbed it down low. He just got rid of it quick.
We've had 3 or 4 or 5 of those tonight too. You know it, Denny. Those low snaps really screws up the timing.
Johnny Lang in the game at running back. Sandberg out of the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cord takes a snap. He'll give off to Lang. Lang, a quick hitter up the middle for a touchdown. Johnny Lang gets the touchdown from 7 yards, and it's 21-9. So the Canes not going away here. Johnny Lang, that was nice blocking by the offensive line. And did Lang hit that hole hard or what?
Boy, he hit that lightning quick. He got through there. There was no chance to react to him. A good job of the offensive line on the left side. Opened up enough of a hole. Johnny Lang found his way to the end zone.
Moss on for the extra point. Snap good. Moss's kick is up, and it is good. So it's 21-10. We're back where we started at half, and we're back where Manatee's defense is going to have to come out and make a hold.
We need some Manatee magic here, guys.
Yeah, the defense hasn't done a thing so far tonight. 1 turnover is all they got, and they didn't get anything out of that when they got it. That last drive for the Hurricanes right there, 10 plays, 70 yards, 3 minutes, 28 seconds. Johnny Lang from 7 yards out for the touchdown. Point after good. It's Aquinas 21, Manatee 10.
Scoring recaps brought to you by Buccaneer Pond. Whether you're buying or selling, visit Buccaneer Pond, located on 1st Street in Bradenton or North Washington in Sarasota. Boy, Johnny Lang looked fresh there. So the Canes be kicking off. 5:14 to go in the third quarter. 21-10. It's only an 11-point game. It just seems like more.
Yeah, because we've been on that end for quite a while here.
Well, let's see. Be interesting to see how the defense reacts now, because the offense hopefully has given the defense some momentum
and some life.
Need this into the end zone by Mr. Hernandez, and he really nails it, and that's what he does. So, Gene, that defense getting fired up down there?
Yeah, and Cord Sandberg came up to the defensive line and said, let's go, guys. You know, I got your back. You get me the ball, I'll get you a touchdown. And I think one of the things, if you looked at it, you told me there's 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and St. Thomas has 21 before the game. I'd think, well, we're winning 28-21. So just a little bit offensive kilter there, and let's get it going with defense on this drive.
All right, the Hurricanes will try to stop Aquinas. Drive starting the Raiders from the 20-yard line. Last time they did that to begin the second half, they took it all the way for a touchdown. O'Corn takes the snap, gives off to Coppett, and he is stopped at the line. No gain. 2nd down and 10. DeMarcus Christmas on the stop. And there's an injured player for St. Thomas. He gets up right away, though.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Raiders.
They're calling timeout, making him go out of the game. That was Coppett. He was slow getting up. They stopped the clock for him, so he'll check out.
Deltron Sands will come in. Clock rolling, 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Manatee trails 21-10. O'Corn back in the shotgun. Got to put some pressure on this young man. O'Corn takes the snap. He drops. He looks. He throws a deep ball on the near side, and it's incomplete. Beautiful coverage by the Hurricanes. That was Darren Artis. He was running step for step with the intended receiver.
Who actually got his hands on the ball.
That was Mark Barr, who is committed to Marshall. And that was a well-thrown ball, too.
It was very well-thrown football. He had his hands on the football. Again, good coverage. The ball was thrown right where he wanted it. He just couldn't bring it in.
I'm very impressed with O'Corn. I'm a little surprised he's not going to a bigger school than Houston. Not that Houston's, a bad school or anything, but he looks awful good out here. O'Corn on 3rd down and 10. He takes the snap, and it'll be a little draw play to the 20, to the 25, to the 30-yard line for the first down. That's a killer. That is a killer. Madre London on a little draw play, broke a couple tackles and got the first down. Wow.
That was Malik Brooks who should have stopped him. He would have been short by 3 yards if he brings him down, but he doesn't bring him down. They convert the first down, and the clock's a running underneath almost 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's the biggest play of the game so far. Mayshawn Smith finally with a tackle, but not before. It was an 11-yard pickup by London, and it's 1st and 10. Now they'll go back to the I formation. O'Corn under center. He takes the snap, and he gives off to Coppett. He spins away from a tackle and gets to the 35-yard line. That's a 4-yard pickup.
We hit him in the backfield, but he spun out of it.
Well, they're going to spot him at the 36, so it'll be 2nd down and 5. You cannot allow this team to methodically drive down the field.
And keep making 3rd down conversions. That's what's killing us, their 3rd down conversions.
Man, that was a big one. 3rd and 10, and they got 11. O'Corn now with 3 backs in the backfield. He was under center. Now he's back in the shotgun. Still has 3 backs in the backfield. He takes the snap, and he will give off to Coppett, who gets to the 40, breaks a tackle to the 50, to the 45, finally out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So it'll be another 1st and 10. Too many missed tackles for the Hurricanes. And the defense just not able to stop this Aquinas team. You got to somehow force a turnover or something here, because you cannot let them get a touchdown here. At least you could, if you stop them to hold them to a field goal, that would be okay, because it is still a 2-score game.
Problem is they don't have a kicker, so they go 4 downs inside the 30.
O'Corn will remain. No, he won't. He started under center, now back in the gun on 1st and 10.
Same formation as last play.
Takes the snap, gives off to Madre, the fullback. That's Madre London, who gets to the 43. And it'll pick up a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Line of scrimmage, the 43. We're down to 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. It's 21-10 Aquinas. Winner of this game will advance to the state championship in Orlando next week. Right now, it doesn't look like the good guys are going to be going. But there's still plenty of time.
Look for a play action right here.
O'Corn needs some pressure on this young man. He takes a snap. He will throw over the middle, incomplete. Incomplete, and I think there's a flag.
That's going to be holding on St. Thomas right here. It's a big question. Do you take it or don't you?
I think you have to push him back 10, Danny, just because of field position.
Chop block against the Raiders.
Yeah, I think you got to.
What was the call? What was the penalty?
Chop block.
Yeah.
Clock
stopped. Back him up.
So that gives us...
way back there, too. That's 15 yards.
38 yards.
That's back to the 38. Holding, maybe you got something to think about, but not a 15-yarder.
Right.
For the Raiders.
So now they're all the way back at their own 38-yard line. They need to get to the Hurricane 34 for the first down. Second down and a bunch.
3 wide receivers. Look out.
O'Corn likes to run in this position. And that's just a little draw play, nothing doing. Loss of a yard. Coppett brought down. Dawsey in there. Dawsey's playing hard tonight. All the guys are playing hard. So here we go again. 3rd down, and how much they got? 10, 20,
37.
30, 37?
Yeah.
Okay. If they pick this up, God bless them.
And no kidding. They picked this up. You can stick a fork in it right here.
They had 3rd down on the clock on the last play that it was 3rd down.
3rd and 37. O'Corn out of the shotgun, down to 1:55 to go in the 3rd quarter. O'Corn takes the snap, and he will just give it off to the running back, to the 40, to the 45, to the 48-yard line. Nashawn Smith on the stop.
I think they're going to kick it to us.
Oh, yeah, they got a kick here. London on the carry.
If there's any plus side to this right here, they've been vulnerable to a couple of blocked punts this year, so see if the Canes can put some pressure on.
Bill Arpin back to punt for the Raiders.
How about a bad snap?
Bill Arpin to punt the ball. McKnight back deep for the Hurricanes. And it's a good snap, and he gets it off. And McKnight will take it at the 25, and he is straight up the field to the 28, to the 29-yard line. So the Canes have it back on offense. 1:07 to go in the third quarter. Decent field position. Drive starting from their 29, but the Canes hanging around here.
Yep.
I think right here, I mean, even though it's 1:07 to go in the third, I think you got to go to a more up-tempo style offense right here to keep them off pace.
You're absolutely right, Denny. I thought about it before, too, in this first half. I mean, you got to go to that almost no-huddle thing and go. Let's go.
Canes trail 21-10. Sandberg out of the gun with 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Cord will run the football across the 30 to the 35, spinning to the 40-yard line. That's a first down for the Hurricanes, an 11-yard gain by Sandberg. Clock will stop momentarily. We say that because every second is going to be important as we move into the fourth quarter. We're under a minute to go in the third quarter. Canes trail by 11, but Manatee has the football. 1st and 10 at their own 40, driving right to left. Sandberg with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cord takes the snap. Lang is in the backfield. Cord is going to keep it to the 41, only picked up a yard. So it'll be 2nd down and 9. Boza, boy, he's played a nice game. That's Joe Boza on the stop. This will maybe be the final play of the third quarter. Down to 20 seconds. Big 2nd down. You need to get good yardage here so you're not 3rd and long. Sandberg takes the snap. He wants to throw long. And he throws long, but it's incomplete. Boy, nice coverage. He wanted Yancey long, but boy, nobody really was open, and so he went long, and now it'll be 3rd down and 9 with 3 seconds to go in the third quarter. Man, that was excellent coverage by Aquinas. Cord had nowhere to go. Canes took the shot downfield. Now you got to get the first down.
I like that little curl pattern. Remember we threw it earlier in the first half? Danny, about 12, 13 yards downfield.
Timeout. Watch this.
Well, Yancey's late getting the play call, and Manatee's going to have to call a timeout. So the Canes call a timeout and that's not a bad timeout because, you know, this could very well be the football game. You got to get the first down here. So you better get the right play in. And Yancey was late coming back. So we'll keep it here. The score 21-10. Remind everyone, you know, we got a nice weekend, beautiful weekend shaping up, and head out to the beach. When you're out there, go to the Sandbar, Beach House, or Mar Vista. Danny and I love the grouper tacos at Sandbar. They also have them at the other 2 restaurants. And Sandbar, renovated, got an all-new restaurant out there, and need to go out there to beautiful Anna Maria Island because, man, it's like paradise out there. Beach House, Sandbar, Mar Vista. Here we've got 3 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Canes trail Fort Lauderdale, St. Thomas Aquinas, 21-10. Manatee with the football at their own 41. They need 9 yards. Need to get to midfield to keep this drive alive. Sandberg operates out of the shotgun. Let's see what the senior quarterback can do here. He takes the snap. It's going to be a reverse. Let's see if the Canes can get to the outside. They get to the 44, and that's it. That is it. Kelvin McKnight on the reverse. And we got maybe 3 yards. It'll be 4th down and 7 as the quarter ends. So we'll take a timeout. as we head to the final quarter. Manatee trails 21-10. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football presented by Conley Buick.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Balls, the perfect people for a perfect pool. Sports Authority, your football.
Is he going to go for it?
Field turf.
No, he's sending
I
out
would.
Hernandez.
I would. I'd go.
He's punting.
School, online education anytime, any place, any path.
Fake punt?
T2schools.com.
No way.
Games, scores, stats, schedules, game directions, and more.
How about a fake, Danny? Fake.
HSAA, Balfour, the official supplier of championship rings, and Spalding, provider of official game ball for the football finals.
All right, go ahead and talk.
In the fourth quarter, Osceola 14, Lincoln
All right,
14.
we start the fourth quarter. Canes trail 21-10. It's 4th and 6 for Manatee, and they send out Hernandez and the punt team. Line of scrimmage, the 44 of Manatee. They need 6 yards for the first down, but they're going to punt it away here, presumably.
Check that for Manatee.
Hernandez will take the ball and punt it very, very high. And it hits at the 20, and it's picked up at the last minute by the Aquinas player, and he goes down right at the 20-yard line.
What's the flag?
He signaled fair catch. He can't advance it on him.
Yeah, I was wondering what's going on there.
I don't care if it hits the ground. Yeah.
No, but if it hits the ground, he can play.
He signaled fair catch.
Check in with Gene. Gene, any talk on the sidelines of going for it there?
No, I think if we were over the 50-yard line, maybe, but we've stopped them. Let's pin them back and let's try to stop them again, and maybe we get a defensive break here.
All right, the penalty going against Aquinas, so that will put them deep in their own territory. Boy, if Manatee could just come up with a turnover here. So, with 11:50 to go in perhaps the season for the Hurricanes, it's 21-10 Aquinas. Aquinas has the football deep in their own territory. Drive starting at what, Danny? About the 11-yard line?
Yeah.
O'Corn will give off to Coppett, running out of the I formation. Not much room there, though, as he gets to the 13-yard line. It'll be second down and 9.
Good defense, guys.
Second and 9, yep. Boy, Aquinas, what they want to do, they just want to burn that clock. John O'Corn has had a tremendous game leading this Aquinas team, and he's 12 minutes away from a trip to Orlando. Let's see if the Canes can deny it. Need to come up with a big play here. Second and 9. O'Corn is under center. And O'Corn will give off to the running back, and he's through the line of scrimmage to the 25 to the 26-yard line. That's a first down for London. Boy, he hit the hole in a hurry. And it's going to be first down and 10. And just when the Hurricanes had them pinned deep, they're able to escape. Well, you just wonder if you're going to be able to get your hands back on the ball here. Down still by 11.
I just hate these gold helmets. We got to see them one more time this year.
O'Corn will again give off to the I-back, and that is Deltron Sands spinning ahead to the 30. That's a couple of yards. It'll be second down and 8.
Antonio Henderson on the tackle for Manatee.
If the Canes ever came up with a stop, they need one here.
It'll be second and 7 for the Raiders.
Yeah, they need more than a stop. They got to force a turnover somehow, some way.
Antonio Henderson has checked into the game, Danny, at outside linebacker for the Canes. As again, it's a handoff to Coppett. Boy, he's got a lot of room to the outside, the 35, the 40, and he goes out of bounds on the far side. And, I don't want to second guess, but now, you kind of down 11, you kind of wish that we would have gone for it because they're right back to where we were about.
You can almost stick a fork in this one. The fat lady's tuning up, guys.
Yeah, I agree with you, David. I thought at the time we need to just keep going. We haven't been able to stop them all one time or twice tonight.
And then you get a score there, and then you got all the momentum in the world on your side.
Well, let's hope for a turn. T.O. right here.
O'Korn under center, backs in the eye. And it'll be a handoff to running back across the 50. Boy, pushing the pile for 9 yards. London, he's a big back, goes 200 pounds. Keller on the stop, but this team from St. Thomas Aquinas has come out here and really dominated this football game.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, they're just going to run the football. We can't do anything to slow them down, and they're just having their way with us.
9:32 to go in our game. Manatee needs something to happen and happen in a hurry. O'Korn will give off, and leaping across the line of scrimmages, Deltron Sands for the first down. Man, he looked like Superman. He only got maybe 3 yards, but what a play by Sands. 1st and 10. Now the line of scrimmage, the 42. 9:19 to go. The clock ticking away on the Hurricane season. Manatee coming into this game, of course, 13-0. But they've run into a real buzzsaw here in the Aquinas Raiders. O'Korn under center, backs in the eye. And it's a play action. They're holding Henderson. He throws it incomplete. Boy, they were holding Antonio Henderson big time, but it's an incomplete pass. So that's a good thing, stopping the clock.
I don't quite understand that play. I mean, you have you at will running the football at them. There's no sense to throw it.
They thought they'd catch us by surprise, I think, Danny, and score a big one, I guess. I don't know. I agree with you. I don't understand it, but that's the only explanation I can give you.
Mabry is out of the game. It's Antonio Henderson, as we said, in there, and we don't know. That's the leading tackler for Manatee, Darian Mabry. O'Korn under center, and he will give off to the running back, who breaks a tackle to the 40 to the 37. Sands on the carry. Finally brought down by Reeves and Dawsey. So it'll be 3rd down and 5. Well, here we go. You know they're going to have 2 downs here to get 5 yards. This Manatee defense needs to stand up here and make a stop. I formation. O'Korn takes the snap, and he'll sneak it ahead, and McElfresh knocks him down at the 34, so it'll be 4th down and 2. McElfresh put a licking on John O'Korn. So it'll be 4th down now.
That was a big hit. He had the first.
4th down and 2. This is probably the football game here.
Yeah, you might see that same play again, you know it, Danny.
Safe to say this is all she wrote right here. They don't stop him right here. You can stick a fork in it.
Madre London is the eye back. O'Korn under center. O'Korn will give off to London on the left side, and he is dragged down for the stop. So Manatee will take over at the 36 with 7:33 to go. The Canes trail by 11.
Still alive. We're still breathing, man. We're still breathing, I'm telling you. Don't give up.
No time to dilly-dally here. You need to take the ball and
score.
March it downfield.
Down 11, 2 timeouts to go. You've got to find pay dirt quick.
I would say you need to score with at least by 5 minutes to go in this game. That gives you 2.5 minutes to score. That's an average drive for the Hurricanes this year, but not tonight. Sandberg out of the shotgun. Canes trail by 11. Cord takes the snap. Play action. Rolls. And he wants Johnny Lang. He's got him at the 45. Lang to the 48-yard line. Clock will stop. It's a 1st down, and that play has been open all year long and continued tonight. And Walters has been out of this game a long time. His ankle will obviously bother him.
Yeah, I think he's done for the evening. We haven't seen him back in there. He's over there hobbling a little bit, right around the 40-yard line.
So the Hurricanes have been banged up tonight. It's been a physical game. 1st and 10, though. Line of scrimmage, the 47. of Manatee. Sandberg takes the snap, wants to throw. He fires it out. It is complete. I think that's Yancey on the far side. He's driven out of bounds for a first down at the 43-yard line. So that'll stop the clock with 7:02 to go. So the Canes are in Aquinas territory. First down and 10. We'll call it the 43-yard line.
Bosa's helmet came off. Let's see what they do.
He has to come out of the game.
Yeah, there he comes. He's coming out. They didn't give him the first down, so he's short. There they go. Now they're calling the change down.
Man. All right, Canes. First and 10 from the Aquinas 43, driving left to right. Sandberg takes the snap. Inside handoff to Lang. Lang running tough across the 40 to the 38-yard line. Picks up about 5, maybe 6 on first down.
He had a little bit of running room right there. He just slipped and fell trying to make a cut.
It's a 5-yard gain by Johnny. Down to 6:44 to go in our game. Yeah, I don't want to get down to where you have to kick an onside kick. Sandberg with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cord takes the snap, drops back, wants to throw. It's almost picked off. Almost picked off. Wow. Incomplete on the far side.
Well, he just, the defensive player took a chance on that one. If he gets it, he's gone to the house, and it's over. I tell you what, though, if it goes through his hands and gets to the receiver, he's got a lot of running room the other direction.
So it's 3rd down and 5. Wow, that could have been the ball game.
I say this is 2-down territory for us. What do you say,
no
Dave?
doubt about it.
Well, they don't have a safety back. I'm going to try and run a post pattern right here and beat them.
3rd down and 5. Sandberg takes the snap. Cord wants to throw, and it's incomplete.
What are they doing?
Boy, Yancey wasn't even turned around when the ball was thrown, and Manatee has an offensive lineman hurt.
4th down.
So it's 4th down, and the season comes down to this.
Yep, this is do or die right here. This is all she wrote.
We've got an injured player. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football presented by Conley Buick GMC.
St. Thomas Aquinas is proud to announce Plantation Ford is our official car dealership. Plantation Ford is permanently operated by St. Thomas Aquinas alumni. Visit plantationford.com.
1 match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
1 shot.
Tough spot to be in, to come in and shotgun snap when you haven't done it all night. But Brooks did a good job earlier this season when he was in at center. So this is it, 4th down and 5 for the Hurricanes. Sandberg sends 2 receivers to either side. Cord takes the snap. He rolls. He throws. It is incomplete, and that probably will be the game.
That'll do it.
That was excellent coverage. I don't even know if he would have got the first down.
Nah, he was short.
He was short is right.
Hines was the intended receiver. Boy, Manatee's completely abandoned any kind of option game. And that's going to be it. 6:19 to go. It'll take a little bit of a miracle now.
I don't see it happening, gentlemen.
Aquinas halts the drive, and the Canes have been held to 10 points tonight.
You know, they're going to stay on the ground right now. You won't see nothing but run, 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 clock, go, go, go.
Well, it's a 2-score game. That's the issue.
That is exactly right.
O'Corn at quarterback has played a great game. He'll give off to Coppett. He gets to the outside and goes out of bounds. At about the 45-yard line. That's a 7-yard gain. And what was a tremendous season may be coming to an end here for the Hurricanes, short of their goal of winning a repeat state championship. But let's not lose sight of what kind of year it was. It was a great ride, and they've got a few more minutes here to make something of it, but we need something big to happen right now on defense, like a turnover. O'Corn takes the snap, inside handoff, broken tackle. We've had a lot of those. First down to the 50-yard line. The defense hasn't played that badly, giving up 21 points. The offense, though, has, quite frankly, looked like the offense of last year.
Yeah, they have. They haven't done anything. They've been out of sync all night. St. Thomas has disrupted absolutely everything Manatee wanted to do on the offensive side.
Because there's no way you would think, if you said, okay, the defense will give up 21, all right, yeah, that's a win. But the offense has only scored 10. 5:45 to go in our game. 21-10. Aquinas on top. They have the ball at midfield. O'Corn under center. He will give off to the I-back. And that's to the 49-yard line. A yard pickup by Coppett, and it is second down and 9.
Yeah, if we could have played him in the first half like we played him in the second half, really would have been a close game coming into the second half too, you know.
Well, I think if you think back and dissect this game, which we will, the whole trip home, it's going to come down to the Canes not getting, after the turnover, not getting in the end zone. We got down to the 11-yard line and had a couple penalties. And it's a play action. O'Corn wants to throw. He fires it down. It's caught at the 40. And that is Boozer, Jonathan Boozer, the big tight end for the first down.
And a flag thrown for roughing the passer down. There's a tack on another 15 after that. So they'll be down around the 20-yard line here after they march this off. Oh, that'll be all she wrote, gentlemen.
He had a tackle, guys. He ran out of 30 ran out.
So it'll be first and 10 for Aquinas. Just 4:51 to go in the game. 21-10. Line of scrimmage now the 22-yard line of the Hurricanes. Aquinas trying to really ice this game. It would take really a fumble and a pickup by the defense and a nice return here to keep Manatee in this game. O'Corn takes the snap, and it's inside handoff. It's to the 10, to the 5. Kopic for a touchdown.
That right there is the nail in the coffin.
That's it, guys. That's it.
Yeah, Kopic got the touchdown, and that's going to be it. The Canes are going to lose this game, and it's going to be a convincing win for St. Thomas Aquinas. Did not see this coming. I knew Aquinas was capable of winning, but I didn't see them winning by this score, which will be 28-10 shortly. And Aquinas has not only shocked the state, they've shocked the country.
And they shocked me.
Extra point is up and good. 28-10, 4:45 to go in the game. And we'll take a 30-second break. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football, presented by Conley Buick GMC. All right, the Hurricanes trail 28-10, 4:45 to go in our game, and it's pretty much a stunned crowd on the far side and a jubilant crowd beneath us because the Aquinas Raiders are going to play for another state championship, and boy, they're the odds-on favorite to win the thing the way they played tonight. They really controlled this football game.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think that whoever won this game is going to be the odds-on favorite to win it all.
It's a shame the Canes will not have a chance to repeat, as it's a short kick taken at the 30 to the 35 to the 40 to the 45-yard line. Manatee will have it 1st and 10. Good field position, but a little late.
Brings the ball back up to the 45-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
And, it's a bad ending for a storybook career for Cord Sandberg, but let's not forget everything he has done at Manatee High School, including a state championship.
He's been a tremendous quarterback for the Hurricanes. 3 years, 3 great years.
He takes the snap, fires it out, and McKnight catches it, but he stopped right there. And, the thing is, that play's not open.
It hadn't been open all night long. It's like we've gone to the well time and time again with it. It's like we can't find a way to get down the field. And don't be so upset with that's the play that we're running, because our offensive line really hasn't given us a whole lot of time to try and stretch the ball down the field.
No, it's been just a dominating defensive performance by St. Thomas. We move the ball sporadically, but that's about it. Sandberg takes the snap, rolls to his left. He'll throw it down, and it is caught, I believe. No, incomplete. Boy, he was smacked right as he got the ball, Danny. And that was quite a hit.
I tell you what, the emotion is just way too much. That was intended for Kelvin McKnight over there. As Chris Washington came up and put a lick on it.
Some of our throws are floated a little tonight.
They haven't been crisp. It hasn't been sharp all night long. And again, I can't say enough about what St. Thomas's defense has done to disrupt everything. They've done everything they had to do. I give their coaches and their players credit. They did a great job preparation for this football game.
Yeah, they did just what Manatee did a few years ago when they shocked Aquinas when they were #1. There was a lot of talk about that. Little screenplay set up to Lang. Lang to the 45, to the 50. Johnny to the 40. Johnny to the 30. Look at Johnny go on the far sidelines to the 20, and he finally goes out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Beautiful run by Johnny Lang. We're going to be calling that young man's name a lot.
Yeah, we got him to look forward to next year, guys. Let me tell you what, he's going to be fun.
Well, you know what this proves, too? It's just really hard to repeat a state champion.
Very, very difficult.
And, boy, just when it looked like the Canes were rolling right along, 51-0 last week, well, if you don't show up and play your very best football in the semis, you're going to get beat. And that's what happened tonight. And, they got beat. Let's face it.
They got handled from start to finish in this one.
But the Canes trying to get on the board late here, 28-10. Sandberg takes the snap. He wants to throw. He floats it to Lang. Lang's got it at the 10. Lang to the 5. Lang with a great move down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. Clock stopped with 3:33 to go. Johnny Lang really showing some of his skills. The freshman. Get the ball in here. Onside kick. Touchdown. Onside kick. Touchdown. Onside kick.
That's a guy like your attitude,
a lot right
Dave.
there. Let me tell you.
I
can't get that to happen on playing PlayStation. There ain't no way.
Sandberg under center. Down to 3:17 now, and we'll call a timeout. Canes call a timeout, 28-10. Aquinas leads. We'll take a break. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football presented by Conley Buick GMC.
Quarterback didn't have his best game. He missed some throws in the first half that he really outplayed it. He hits the short pass here, he's got a touchdown, and he hits the pass there, another touchdown. It's a good game.
Yeah.
Those two
third down conversions.
Yeah, and our third down conversions. Yeah.
That was a difference. Huge difference.
Credit them. They did a great job defensively.
All right, we're back at Brian Piccolo Stadium, home of the Aquinas Raiders, and we give them a lot of credit for the way they've played tonight. Hurricanes trail 28-10. Manatee has the football, first down and goal at the 3-yard line. Only 3:14 to go, though, in the game. That's the problem. Sandberg in the shotgun. Johnny Lang, the lone setback. Cord. It's a bad snap, and Lang just falls on it at the 11-yard line.
It's another bad snap.
Those kids haven't done that in 2 years.
Down to 3 minutes. Well, you had the ball at the 3. Now you're back at the 11.
Have we seen this before tonight?
Yeah, when we were down at the 11 earlier in the game, we turned around and went backwards in that one.
Well, that was the biggest play all night long.
That was
not scoring right there. 2:44 to go now. It's 2nd and goal from the 11. Sandberg takes the snap. He wants to throw in the middle. Got a receiver wide open for a touchdown. The Hurricanes get a touchdown. Jawan Pollock. That was busted coverage for Aquinas. I don't know where their safety was, but the Hurricanes exploit it. And now they'll go for 2 here, I'm sure, to make it hopefully 28 to 18.
I think their safety already went to the locker room on that play.
Canes should go for 2 here. It's 28-16 because if you get 2 here, you're only down by 10, and you get the onside kick, and yada yada yada. You need a lot of things to happen, but you cut it to a field goal and a touchdown. Sandberg out of the gun. Again, it's 28-16 now, but only 2:36 to go in our game. Cord takes the snap. He's rolling to his left, being pressured. He fires it down, and is it caught? Yes, it is, for 2 points. Beautiful play by Cord getting that ball off, and I'm not sure who grabbed it. It was Johnny Lang. Boy, that was a nice catch, too, because that was a low throw as Cord had to get it out there in a hurry. That was a nice play, 28-18 with 2:36. Too bad it's not 2:36 to go in the third quarter.
I'm telling you, Dave.
We'll keep it here, and we'll see an onside kick here.
We've done pretty good in the second half. What is it, even? In the second half? Are they? It was 14-3 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, we're up by 1.
Yeah, but if we'd have played in the first half like we did in the second half. Big ifs, but it's the truth.
All right, the Canes are going to have to get the onside kick here, and if they get it, then they're going to have to score right away.
Yeah, like one play.
And then they got to get the onside kick again. So they got to get 2 onside kicks. Well, let's just get the first one. First things first.
The odds aren't in your favor to get the first one, so.
One day at a time, one kick at a time.
Hernandez has it teed up. And here comes the onside kick. It's a very high kick, and it's taken by Aquinas, and it's going to be offside.
Offside, you just redo it. Which is just about the craziest thing I ever seen. I don't understand why an onside kick, if you're offside and you don't convert it.
Yeah, you should be able to just decline it.
Just decline it. You don't even get that option.
That ball's got to do some bouncing out there, not just kick it up in the air.
He got the kick up that he needed.
We just don't have it. No, we can't get down the field quick enough for that.
You just wonder how many times Hurricanes practice onside kicks.
I think I put somebody real fast here on the right, and then kick it way down in the corner down there and let somebody race down there and get it.
All right, another onside kick, this time from the 35. Hernandez again gets it. It's way up there, and the Hurricanes get the football. Manatee gets the football at about midfield.
They're saying he touched it.
No. He got it at the 45.
Yeah, I think he got it right before the 45.
I don't.
They marked it. It's going to be St. Thomas ball right there. It's illegal touching.
What?
Yep. I think he got it just before the 45.
That was, I don't know about that. We're right on it here.
I am right on that 45-yard line. He caught that ball beyond the 45.
That's too close to call. And we don't have instant replay. So
he didn't waste any time tossing the beanbag down right there. I thought personally that it was short of the 45. So
he was in the air.
Yeah.
But where is it?
It's where you touch it.
Feet, where he touches it.
Initially touches it. He touched it prior to, and then he carried himself across.
That's exactly.
No, you can't fault the guy trying to get the ball. I mean, that was just one of them things. Yeah.
So Aquinas will take over. Well, that was very, very close, but Aquinas takes over, and now they'll just run the clock out as London gets the ball, and he gets it across the 40 to the 37. And the game is going to end here in 2 minutes and 25 seconds, and Manatee's magical season is going to come to an end.
37 yards.
28-18. It looked like the Canes had the onside kick, but the ref said that we touched it before it crossed the 45-yard line. You can touch it right at the 45, But, the chances of getting it and getting a score and getting another onside kick were not great anyway. But you would have liked the opportunity, as it's a handoff to the fullback or the tailback. That's London across the 25 to the 22-yard line. We're down to 1:46. Clock stops momentarily. I wouldn't be surprised they just take a knee from here on out.
Yeah, I think you take it. Joe's not going to burn any timeouts or do anything. It's a done deal.
Appreciate it, guys. See you guys next week. We appreciate it, man. All right, baby.
Awesome.
Chris Carter up here in the press box. Very happy. Now he'll head back to Bristol, Connecticut, I guess, to do his ESPN stuff. O'Corn, handoff across the 20. London will waltz into the end zone. So that's 34-18, as we kind of just gave up on that play. So St. Thomas rubbing it in here. Then why not? It's our job to stop them. Hurricanes with big gaps tonight defensively.
I can tell you this much. It's disappointing to watch your team come over here and get it handed to them the way they did, but you got to tip your hat. St. Thomas Aquinas played an absolutely tremendous game tonight.
The better team won tonight.
Absolutely.
So, what are you going to say?
They did a great job. They prepared themselves all week. They did what they had to do, and again, the cloud hangs over Manatee. They're coming down here. They can't win a football game here, guys. It's a very difficult place to come down and win, and congratulations to St. Thomas. And I'll tell you what, if anything, I put my money on them to walk away with the state championship next week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I don't know that I'll even watch
if they were playing here, but I don't think where you play makes a difference. I'm sorry. The same size guys, it's the same plays, it's everything. Then it's mental.
Manatee will finish the season at 13-1.
I think you said it earlier in the year. We talked about it leading up to this. We have not had a bad week of football yet. Tonight, we finally did. Tonight, we didn't put it together, and we couldn't overcome those obstacles. And unfortunately, when you don't do that, the other team capitalizes on what they need to do. They came out and took it to us early on. The offensive line for St. Thomas Aquinas played absolutely tremendous tonight.
And the defensive line. Kickoff is a little bloop kick that it bounces all over the place, and Aquinas is going to pick it up. Yeah, Aquinas got the football at the 20-yard line.
Insult to injury right there.
Yeah, they could score again here if they want to.
Sadly enough, they've done that all night long. You got to come up with that football.
They'll do it again, too. They'll score again.
What a long bus trip home, too, for this Hurricane.
They'll do it again. They'll try to do it again, too.
I'll tell you what, though. Again, let's not lose sight of what's happened all year long, and as well as this team has played. Cord Sandberg, again, he'll be missed.
Definitely.
Tremendous player, done tremendous things. I tell you what, some big shoes to have to fill down the way with him. And again, that front four right there, we're going to miss those guys. And obviously DeMarcus Christmas will be back, but Derek Callaway, Marquise Dawsey, 4 years starting on varsity. Tremendous job by him, Blake Keller. I can't say enough about what those guys have done.
Gene, the wheels have kind of come off here.
Yeah, but I agree with Danny. Obviously it's disappointing because of where we were and what we did all season. But, hey, you got to give it to these guys. And, hey, the better team won tonight. Obviously I didn't think St. Thomas was that good, but they came out and had a great game plan against our offense. And their offense really, did some surprising things to our defense. And I think we got hurt at linebacker a little bit tonight, and then we saw when our linebacker went out right away. And let's just keep our prayers over for that young man who, had a pretty severe arm injury in Pruitt.
He'll be back next year, hopefully, as they're just going to kill the clock here, go down on a knee. They're in the victory formation. That'll probably be the last snap of the game. 35-18 will be our final. St. Thomas Aquinas will win the state semifinals and move on to play for the state championship against either Osceola or Lincoln. We don't have a final on that yet. We'll try to get that for you if you care. Lincoln won that game. So Kissimmee Osceola, another undefeated team, goes down tonight. And that's it. The final snap of the game. St. Thomas Aquinas, congratulations to the Raiders as they defeat the Manatee Hurricanes 35-18. We're going to take a timeout and return for the Shake Pit post-game show. You're listening to Manatee Hurricane Football presented by Conley Buick GMC.
Manatee Hurricanes 18. St. Thomas will advance to next week's state championship game where it will face Lincoln in Orlando. Busing information will be available at the school on Monday.
I gotta tell you,
The game will be played Friday,